Well, hello, everybody. My name is Sean Cacaro alongside Vincent Mascol for a brand new live stream as we stream our first regular season game of the year as the Milwaukee Brewers take on the New York Yankees as the Yankees look for a opening weekend sweep in the final game of the series and the third game of the 6-game homestand. Vinny, first and foremost, how you doing today, bud?
Doing good, man. Doing good. And that, I mean, that test I took for PFF really kicked my butt last night. But
Oh, I'm sure.
other than that, granted, it took me 5 hours to finish it, and it was only a half of football. It
Oh,
was Ohio versus, I forgot who it was, Ohio versus somebody. And it wasn't a very good game. Ohio
no.
versus Kentucky, yes. Ohio versus
Yes.
Kentucky. Not a good game. So,
Well, I mean, if there's one thing we could say, the Yankees definitely put everybody in a good mood yesterday with a 20
yeah,
to
it's
9
definitely.
victory. Who the hell saw that coming? Me and Vinny were talking about this was a game that the Yankees had to win in order to clinch the series, take some of the pressure off of the team to going into today's game. Vinny, where do we even begin with just what happened yesterday? So much, 3 pitches, 3 home runs to start the game. They knock out Nestor after giving up 8 earned runs. Vinny, what were your takeaways from
Well, I
yesterday's
hate
game?
to be in a 20-9 victory, I don't want to be negative, but I
There
will
were
say
some concerns.
Ray is making two errors, a throwing and a fielding error at third. Not good. Even though and he is a third baseman. Um, you know, Freed made an error, Volpe made an error, Chisholm made an error. So, if that game was close, they said it on the broadcast, we probably give that game away.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that would have been a situation where we beat ourselves.
and I was a little concerned. Freed really
Didn't have his best outing.
didn't have his best outing. I mean, two earned, 6 runs total. But other than that, I mean, I can't really complain. And then I read all this stuff about the torpedo bats, and then I was like totally pissed
Yeah,
off and
that's
said, you know what,
another
screw it.
big story.
Screw MLB fans, man. I'm tired of that.
And
That's just
again, I said it
crazy.
to you before we started the stream today. They only hate it because the Yankees were the ones that did it. Had the Miami Marlins done it, nobody would bat an eyelash. Then again, I don't
Yeah,
think the
this
Marlins
this
would know
thing
what
is
to do
gonna
with
I
it.
and I guarantee you this thing's gonna get a little bit bigger too. I have a strange feeling that we're gonna hear about this.
A
And
lot.
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
But
I agree. But we look at the positives yesterday. 9 home runs, one shy of tying the all-time MLB record, which was set in 1999, I believe, when the Toronto Blue Jays did it.
yep.
Going into today's game, now you worry. I said it to you beforehand, Vinny. Typically, when you put up a big offensive performance like that, it's very hard to complete an encore and do it again. What do the Yankees got to do today to you don't have to put up 20 runs, but what do they just need to do to keep the offense hot and earn a victory today?
Well, it's gonna be I mean, we're gonna have to pitch well, and we're gonna have to field way better than we did yesterday. So
Yes.
and just keep the hitting going. I think the hitting will be fine. You said it earlier before we went on that when and this isn't just for our team. I think it's for most teams. You put out that kind of output, the next game,
It's gonna be tough.
you're usually not gonna score if you score because the other team's gonna adjust their pitching because I saw where Milwaukee was kind of trying to go a lot inside on the Yankees,
Yes.
and that was a mistake. They need to go outside, hit the outside, and make guys reach for those balls,
Yes.
and only come inside just to show them that they're coming inside. But the pitching uh, strategy at the last two games for Milwaukee has not been great. So
Right.
although Peralta was a little bit different because he's good. I mean, he
Yes.
can he can pitch, but
Now, speaking
we
of
just gotta yeah. So
speaking of Milwaukee, what do you do today to avoid the sweep if you're the Brewers?
um, do what you do best and get on base and steal bases and then let the big guys like Yelich and I mean Jake Bowers has actually been I
A
mean,
former Yankee, of course.
but he doesn't start. He came in. He usually comes in to pinch hit, but um, but yeah, I just think that they're they got to change their pitching strategy because what Nestor came in with yesterday was not it,
Not
and they need
acceptable.
um and they do that, and they but if they get on base against us again, you know we're not gonna throw them out. I don't think. I mean, I know Wells is good and he's improved, but that team is fast. So get on
Yes.
base, let the big boppers do what they do, and then they need to pitch a lot better, obviously, today. So
Yes, I agree. So waiting for the players to take the field now. Let's talk about the Brewers lineup a little bit. This is how it's looking today. Leading off playing second base will be Bryce Terang. Batting second, the left fielder Jackson Churio. Batting third, the DH Christian Yelich. Batting cleanup, the catcher today. That's William Contreras. I want to make sure I had that right. Batting fifth will be playing in right field today. That will be Sal Frelick. Oh, my MLB app is running so slow right now. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Jake Bowers. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Garrett Mitchell. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Joey Ortiz. And batting ninth, the second baseman, third baseman, Oliver Dunn. Taking the mound for the Brewers today will be Aaron Savali. Now, for the Yankees, taking the mound today will be Marcus Stroman. I almost said Marcus Freeman. I don't know why I'm thinking Notre Dame
Marcus.
football already. Stroman takes his warm-ups now. Vinny, what are you looking for in Stroman's outing today as he looks to earn the Yankees a sweep?
He really needs, against this team especially, he needs to stay away from walks. I know that's hard, easier said than done because he does walk a lot of people, but he can't walk guys like Terang, Frelick, even the bottom of the order, because they'll get on and they'll steal.
Yes.
I mean, if you look at the bottom of their order, I mean, Garrett Mitchell, 333. I mean, looking at averages this early in the season, probably not. I mean, Jake
Not a big
Bowers is hitting
deal.
1,000, so and he doesn't have many
Yeah.
at bats. But I mean, Jackson Churio is struggling, Yelich is struggling, Contreras is struggling, and Terang's not a great hitter, but Sal Frelick's hitting well. Keep doing what you were doing with those top 4 or 5 guys, and you'll be okay. But
Yes.
you got to limit the walks for sure.
I will
And
say there is one
yeah,
mismatch. Yes, now we're showing the lineup now. They only got 3 righties in the lineup today.
yeah. So a lot of lefties against the righty Stroman
which
today.
favors Milwaukee. And we look at the Yankee defense, which hope does not commit 5 errors today. From
Yep.
left to right, Jason Dominguez, Cody Bellinger, and in right field, Aaron Judge. From third to first, it'll be Oswaldo Cabrera, Anthony Volpe, Jazz Chisholm Jr., and Paul Goldschmidt. Behind the plate, Austin Wells, and of course, on the mound is Marcus Stroman. I'm looking at the weather right now in New York is obviously it's a dark gray day in the Bronx. So far, it just says 2% chance of rain, so we'll wait and see how that plays out. First pitch is in there for a strike, and we are officially underway. Vinny, our regular season is officially underway here on the Pinstripes and Pile Drivers podcast. So kind of like our official opening day. The 0-1 pitch, up and in, 1-1. Dark, gloomy day in the Bronx. Not as warm I hear either. It's only 46 degrees.
Yeah, a lot colder there today than it was yesterday.
I heard it was
like
near 80 degrees in the Bronx yesterday?
Close to 80 yesterday. It was almost
75 here.
I think it hit 80 here in Staten Island. So
Yes.
hey Mitch, how are you, man? How's it going?
How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Sorry about your Sixers yesterday. I heard they got eliminated. But at least your Phillies look good so far.
Eliminated from playoff contention?
Yes, the Sixers
already
were eliminated. Yep, there's only 2 weeks left.
Goodness.
Stroman's 1-2 is lined in the left field for a base hit.
Oh boy, here we go. This is
Bryce Terang gets on to start off this one. The game time temp in the Bronx is 44. Okay, yes says 40% chance of rain, 83% humidity, and the wind is blowing in from left.
Yeah, with the humidity, it feels like 50. Sixers are tanking.
Sorta,
Mitch,
kinda.
I mean,
Churio's up to hit.
I mean, but this isn't like 10 years ago where they were tanking. It's not. It shouldn't be the same. They
Pick off attempt, not in
no.
time.
I'm disappointed in the Sixers. Actually, very disappointed.
Coming from a New York fan, no less.
I know. Well, they were supposed to be, our heated rival, other than the Celtics, of course. But
Wow. First pitch to Churio is in there for a strike, way outside. Called a strike anyway. Count 0-1.
what pitch you think he goes on?
Ooh, that's hard to say.
Because he's going. He's definitely going.
It's definitely going to be something off speed.
Especially with the righty pitching now.
It'll be an 0-1. In there for that should be a 2-0 count. I don't think either of those were strikes, but that was a sinker right there. Count 0-2. Tough part about this Brewers team is a ground ball does not always mean a double play.
No, they don't hit into a lot of double plays. Yesterday, we
0-2
we
pitch
had
outside.
them, and it wasn't an automatic.
So count 1-2 on Jackson Churro. What a rough opening day he had the other day. 0 for 5 strikeouts. You knew he was going to break out of it yesterday, which he did.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he'll be fine though. I think
he'll be fine. Here's the 1-2, fouled off of Austin Wells.
Trying a new energy drink today.
Oh, what drink?
It's the G Fuel Nightmare on Elm Street Fruit Punch.
Never catch me drinking that stuff.
It's called what is it called? Dream Demon.
Ugh. It'll be a 1-2 from Stroman. Stroman deals. Check swing did not go. Count 2-2. Got to give credit to Stroman. He's definitely held his own after coming into spring. Not guaranteed a rotation spot. Obviously, a bunch of injuries gave him the spot. Stroman, we hope to see, earns his way into the rotations. That's outside 3-2. He's been working that outside half. He got the call the first 2 times. He's going to have to, I say go low and in right here.
Yeah, I think
because everything
he's shown
has been
a lot outside at this point. I think he's trying to stay away from
3-2 pitch is a high fly ball in the deep center field. This one's carrying back on the track. Nice catch by Cody Bellinger for out number 1.
Yeah,
I tell you what, on a day where it's
part of the reason we got him.
If we're having a day where it's 95 degrees, I think that's a home run.
Probably the humidity with the high humidity and
the cold heat. Weather. I'm sure it's probably a little windy. When wind is blowing in from left.
Oh,
nice play by Bellinger, though. Like you said, that's why we got him.
Terang took a step over second as he
had to
thinking maybe
that
he might not catch it, and yeah, so.
Well, I think keep on carrying. Just not deep enough as Christian Yelich comes up to hit, and that's a high fly ball in the deep right field. Judge chasing it towards the line, makes the catch, 2 away.
Wow, this is
hard hit fly.
This is scaring me a little bit.
A little bit.
So the Jackson Churro, the Churro one would have been out in 5 of 30 parks. He hit it at 107.3.
By the way, that Savant you use, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 2 home runs the other day. Well, I'm sorry, the 1 home run on opening day that they said would be out in 1 of 30 parks. That's a lie. Why is that a lie? Because Steinbrenner Field has the exact same dimensions as Yankee Stadium.
I know.
Contreras.
I don't think they.
Think they may not be counting.
I think they may not
Steinbrenner
be
Field.
Steinbrenner Field.
I still don't like seeing that place in Rays colors. It's bothering the ever living you know what out of me.
Yeah.
The 0-1 count from Marcus Stroman. Outside,
Yelich must have just got under that one because that was only hit at 86.9. Wasn't hit as hard as we thought.
Well, we really can't hear the game all too well because we turn it up too loud, they will shut us down. It has happened.
Well, the ball Churro hit would have been out at Fenway, Wrigley, Angel Stadium, Dodger Stadium, and Petco Park.
Ryan Blanke is the home plate umpire. They say he's very hitter friendly.
I don't know. None of these umpires have been really friendly to hitters.
See, I like how every time Yes shows this, they end up being the complete opposite.
Yeah, I know.
1-1 pitch to Contreras, outside 2-1. He's been trying to get them low and away a lot the last couple hitters. I think he's going to have to come more in.
I wouldn't want to complain about the umps because then people will say that we're crying Yankees fans, you know?
Yeah, exactly. 2-1 pitch. Marcus Stroman deals. Swung on and missed. Fires to second on the stolen base. It gets past Chisholm in the center. Terang holds. And it's a stolen base there for Bryce Terang. This is what the Brewers do. Their run game is
But
very strong.
the
One of
fact
the
that
best in baseball.
he went with 2 outs. I don't know. I think
The way this Yankee defense is playing, you can't fault them for trying.
no. Well, I would have thought he would have went earlier to get the runner in scoring position
2-2
earlier.
pitch.
Than them,
Low and away, 3-2. I mean, isn't it nice finally getting to call a real game?
Yeah,
I know not to say spring training games aren't real games, but they get hard to
Definitely.
watch after a while.
Yeah.
3-2 pitch.
17
deals.
pitches so far for Stroman.
Outside, ball 4. He's been trying to attack blowing away. He got 2 calls in his favor, nothing since.
Yeah, I think he's trying to be too fine with his pitches right now. Trying to stay away from the inner half of the plate, definitely, because
Frelick comes up to hit. 259 hitter last year.
And he's not throwing hard either. I think he's averaging.
He's not.
Like his top pitch is his sinker at 89 or 90, but that's pretty much it.
Stroman looks back at the runner, sets and deals. The first, he steps off. Be careful there. That could have been a balk. 18 pitches in the first inning. Definitely not an ideal start for Stroman. But then again, the Yankees do have an off day tomorrow. So
what did Nestor have yesterday? Like 30 something in the first?
Like that. First pitch in there for a strike.
There you go. That's a good pitch. We're definitely working the hitters outside for sure. So
yes,
yeah, you can see
not
that.
Crazy about that approach so far.
Well, I think he doesn't want them. Obviously,
the 0-1
probably
ground ball through for a base hit. That's gonna be at least a single. The Brewers will take a 1-0 lead as Terang scores, and just like that, Milwaukee takes a 1-0 lead.
Well, you get your brains beat in the day before. You come out and you score the run in the first inning. That's showing something.
Yeah.
And it's Brewers baseball. It's not.
Let me fix that. That looks like 12-0. It's not.
Yeah. It's Brewers baseball, man. Base, steal a base, get the run home, get a base hit.
What made them so good last year?
Yeah.
Okay, that's better. So at the bat now, former Yankee Jake Bauers. That's in there for a strike count.
I think the Brewers also are trying to take advantage of that short porch and.
Which they should. You got to line up with, 6 lefties?
Yeah.
It'll be an 0-1. Cut on a miscount 0-2. Stroman
now see he needs now he needs to put him away now and not play with him. Not get the count to 2-2 or 3-2. He needs to put him away. I mean, he could throw him probably a waste pitch here.
0-2. Cut on a miss, strike 3. Bauers goes down. That will end the inning. Yankees.
That's what we needed.
Escape trouble.
That's what we needed.
We're through half an inning. Brewers take a 1-0 lead. Yankees coming up to bat.
So we'll get to see the torpedo lineup.
Yes. If they use those bats again today, we'll have to see.
I think they will. I don't
see why they wouldn't.
I don't see why they wouldn't. I think they have. I don't. Again, it's they moved the wood around. Is what they did basically.
It's nothing illegal.
And listen, I guess it was an MIT person in the analytics department that thought of it.
I just find it crazy how after 70 years nobody thought of that as an idea.
Well, I mean, you were always taught get the ball in the barrel of the bat. The label is, if you get the ball in the label, it's an out pretty much. Yeah. And a lot of guys with all these swing path, launch angle, swing plane, all that stuff. They get the bat on the ball, but they get the label on it. And it seems like Volpe, Bellinger, Chisholm was doing it, Wells was doing it. All those guys were getting it on the label, and they were either popping up or so.
Real quick, I'm going to interrupt the Yankee lineup as they get ready to come up and hit. Leading off, playing first base, Paul Goldschmidt. Batting second, the center fielder, Cody Bellinger. Batting third, the right fielder, Aaron Judge. Batting cleanup, the second baseman, Jazz Chisholm. Batting fifth, the shortstop, Anthony Volpe. Batting sixth, the catcher, Austin Wells. Batting seventh, the left fielder, Jason Dominguez. Batting eighth, the DH, Ben Rice. And batting ninth, the third baseman, Oswaldo Cabrera.
Yeah, let's see what Goldie can do here.
Aaron Savale, former Tampa Bay Ray. Last year,
Boone,
went 8-9 with a 4.36 ERA with 161 innings pitched. Gave up 29 home runs, 52 walks, 149 strikeouts.
Boone playing with the top of the order these first, although he kind of goes with what works.
I was going to say, now with Soto being gone, I have a feeling we're going to see 162 different lineups this year. So.
Yeah. Well, this one's about the same except for the bottom three. I think
first pitch to Goldschmidt, outside, count 1-0. Savali obviously knows his team very well, being with the Tampa Bay Rays. So we'll see who has each other better scouted. 1-0 pitch from Savali, outside 2-0.
Goldschmidt already definitely changing the pitch strategy going outside. They're not. I would doubt Savali goes inside or
2-0 in per
on any of these hitters. Yeah, outside corner. So
Brewers going to be very cautious today. Obviously,
Yankees are going to have to adjust to that outside.
Brewers are going to need a good outing from Savali because that bullpen got used up yesterday. That's about 3-1.
So now they're going inside. Well, Savali missed.
It's the first time this season the Yankees are down. Led the entire game Thursday and led the entire game yesterday. As Goldschmidt fouls that one off, count ball 3-2. First, the Brewers. Goldschmidt's very good. 297 hitter, 32 home runs, 96 RBIs, and OPS of 944 in 138 career games against Milwaukee. That's also including the playoffs.
Almost a full season.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to reach that full season when you play him once a year, but.
It's true. Now I don't think he's going to reach
pitch.
that anymore.
Lined in the left field, base hit hard. Base hit for Paul Goldschmidt. We got a runner on
there
first.
There we go.
Nobody out.
Good job, Goldie.
Nice work there. I'll bring up Cody Bellinger. With one on and nobody out. Yeah, only way we see Milwaukee again this year is, of course, if we play them in the World Series, but we'll wait and see where these two teams go from here.
Goldie hit that at 109.2. Got the barrel on that one.
There's the first pitch to Bellinger. Up and in, count 1-0. Bellinger, this season hitting .571, 1 home run, 5 RBIs. I'd say that's a solid start to the season. I think you think he could maintain that average. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something. It looks like he does have it looks like he does have the torpedo in his hand.
Yes, he does. You could definitely see it. Sticks out like a sore thumb.
Sticks out like a sore thumb. Yeah, obviously the league's not saying anything to him. So
no, because they approved it. So 2-0 pitch outside 3-0.
But you know how Manfred is. Once the fans start chiming in, it's going to be.
Oh yeah, then we'll get a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
3-0 pitch on goal. On Bellinger. I would not give him the green light here. 3-0 in their first strike, 3-1. Good take. That was borderline pitch.
Yeah.
So it'll be a 3-1 on Cody Bellinger. The pitch. That is a high fly ball in the right field. Fair ball. It's trouble. It is foul.
Ooh.
Off the facing of the upper deck.
Wow. Just got out in front of that pitch.
Just early.
Just got out in front of that.
So count now full at 3-2.
Looks like Savali's changing speeds on him too. So
the pitch fouled off again. You do it again. Making him work. It's always a good thing, no matter the outcome. It'll be a 3-2. Savali sets and deals the pitch. That is a high fly ball in the center, but playable. Chasing it down, wind causing troubles, but the center fielder makes the grab for out number 1.
Yeah.
So that'll bring up the MVP. What a game for him yesterday. Aaron Judge comes up to hit 3 home run day, just shy of 4 home runs.
What are the chances
5%.
he gets anything to hit in this game?
I'm surprised that they didn't already choose to walk him.
I doubt they give him anything to hit here for sure.
Well, he did right there, and he just missed it as he fouls it off. Count 0-1.
Yeah, that was up. That was up though a little bit, but you know.
Yeah, he's one that can turn that pitch around though.
Yeah.
15th pitch of the inning, Savali sets and deals the 0-1 pitch. Just outside. Count 1-1.
Yeah, there you go.
Checking the radar for the city. No rain for a while. Most of the rain that's taking place is upstate, but it could hit around 4 o'clock. That's in for a strike. Count 1 and 2. But there's a huge cell of storms that will eventually come. It's right now over Pittsburgh, so they got some time. Aaron Judge, 9 RBIs, most ever through 2 games.
That pitch was a little borderline, that last one.
Pitch upstairs. Count 2 and 2. Almost a pitch out there.
No. Goldie, I don't think Goldie's going anywhere.
No.
Although he is 11 for, I mean, I think he has 11 stolen bases on his
look,
career.
Giancarlo Stanton can steal. Anybody can steal.
Yeah,
2-2 pitch inside 3 and 2. Surprised they didn't call that there because you know how they are with Aaron Judge.
Yeah, inside and low.
Count full again. Definitely making Savali work.
Well, they're being very careful with Judge here, I think. Well, not I think, for sure.
3-2 pitch. That is a high fly ball. Deep left field. That ball is gone.
Oh, my goodness.
Another home run for Aaron Judge, his first in 2 days. And the Yankees take a 2-1
What is Milwaukee
lead.
doing?
Look out, Yonkers. That is a missile off the bat of Aaron Judge.
Oh, my goodness. I think he heard that talk of Bobby Witt MVP.
410, 113 off the bat.
I think he... that's what, 4 home runs in
2 days.
2 days? Holy cow.
2-1 Yankees, just like that.
I don't even think Shohei's gotten out to this start yet.
No.
This type of start. So.
Oh, but
yes, that would have been
Shohei.
gone.
You're a terrible person, Vinny.
I know. That would have been gone in 30 parks, by the way.
Did.
I know. Don't swing at that, Jazz. Come on.
That's Chisholm for you.
30 parks. Yep, 113.
Here's the pitch from to Chisholm. Inside failed bunt attempt there. Count 1-1 as he pulled back in time. So in the first inning, the Yankees have 6 home runs. That's more than the rest of MLB, who has a combined 5 home runs in the first inning.
Wow. It's crazy. It's really insane.
1-1 pitch to Chisholm.
Swinging
for the fences, no good there. Count 1.
I think he was listening to MLB Network last night.
Yes, he was.
And he saw the Bobby Witt talk. And he said, okay, you want to...
We'll play that game?
He can steal all those bases, but
I'll tell you what, the Yankees right now, they've received a lot of criticism since October. They're shutting a lot of people up right now as that's in 2-2. I know it's only the first weekend, but still, I think this is
it's only the first 3 games, so let's not, I mean, we can't get too high or too low like yesterday.
No,
it's like,
but
it's a nice win. It's good to score 20, obviously, but
you needed a start
temper your
like this
expectations
because,
either way.
Had the Yankees lost even one of these last 2 games,
no, I know
everybody's
the sky is falling. I understand that, but
that's fouled off.
But again, I'm the type of guy, don't get too high or too low, and this
no, not this early. I mean, you want to win. We're rooting for wins. But
Oh yeah, of
you can't
course.
take a loss too
Because
personally.
these wins do mean stuff towards the end of the
The only
year.
thing is, Vinny, is the only losses you can really take seriously this early is when you beat yourself. When it
Right,
comes to errors and
right.
missed opportunities, as Chisholm fouls that off.
Chisholm making them work.
2.
Good job.
As we see the Judge home run for the 5th time, now 6th. Look, I love the Yes Network. I always have.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta show it 6 times. We saw it.
Yeah, I know. Probably not.
2-2 pitch
Probably
inside
not.
3-2.
Yeah, making Savali
And
work,
curveball
man.
there.
It's for the 7th time now.
Yeah, I wasn't keeping count, but I'm pretty sure we're not far off.
Yeah, we're I mean,
3-2 pitch to
get it.
Chisholm.
I get it.
Swung on and missed strike 3. He was
All right.
Chisholm went up there swinging for a home
That
run.
was, but that was a pitch like he swung at that was it was in the strike zone. He should have swung at that, but he just was under it. So
we're at 8 times now.
Yeah, I know. Dominguez.
So coming up to bat now will be Anthony Volpe. The ice cream truck is out. It's too cold out.
I know. they're out in they're out in like late February.
It's too cold.
I think this guy really wants some money, but there's not a lot of kids around here. That's the problem.
No, especially in your area. You're gonna find kids. You got to go by the mall.
Yeah, come on, man. And he'll sit out there and idle for probably about 10 minutes.
Pitch to Volpe up and in, called a strike. I mean upstairs. Oh,
that
no.
was
Volley's up to 28 pitches.
Oh, Volpe got the torpedo too. Look at that.
The 0-1 fouled away.
I'm gonna be looking at their bats all game.
Yeah, I know. I think we all are. I think anybody that's watching, look, even you can see the fan pointing it out right now. The kid behind the play.
Yeah, look at that.
The dugout.
Yep. Everybody's
0-2 pitch.
talking about the bats.
Chopper.
And it's not like other people can't use them.
No. Again, people are just upset because the Yankees discovered it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But nice crowd on hand. They're showing the crowd in the Bronx. Big crowd for a cold Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. And I probably should close my window, but I'll do that in the half inning.
Yeah.
Because the ice cream truck's going to go off again.
The 0-2 pitch. That's moving. A high fly ball deep right. This one's carrying back on the track. Makes the catch to end the inning.
Oh.
But not before the Yankees take a 2-1 lead off the bat of Aaron Judge. Just like that, Yankees back on top. We go to the second. 2-1 Yankees.
I will be right back.
You got it. So due up for the Brewers next inning will be Garrett Mitchell, Joey Ortiz, and Oliver Dunn. As the Brewers will look to fight back and at least tie the game. But Yankees so far, they have been off to a red-hot start. Now, they are going into an off day tomorrow. Yankees will not be playing. They will play the D-backs for 3, starting Tuesday going through Thursday. Actually, Vinny, I know you'll like this. First matchup the Yankees face with the D-backs, we get to face Corbin Burns.
That's going to be a tough matchup for us, I think.
Yes, it is.
He pitched us well last
year. D-backs are a tough team. They're a very tough team. We were lucky enough
that the D-backs can hit.
Last year.
They can hit. Yeah, they can hit.
So, some updates around the league. Just not gonna go through a full out-of-town scoreboard yet, but from the AL East, Blue Jays lead the Orioles 2-1. Rays lead the Rockies 2-0. Those are from the AL East. So, Orioles looking to win that series. Blue Jays looking to finish with a split. Rays looking to take 2 out of 3 in their home opening weekend, if that's what we want to call it.
Mm-hmm. So don't lie to me now. Have you haven't? Never. I would hope that you haven't looked at the standings yet.
No.
Okay, good.
No. Good. I don't usually start looking at the standings until end of the month.
No, you got it. Right
now, there's all types of wild tiebreakers, but now that you said it, I'm going to do it anyway. But
Oh my goodness! I shouldn't have said anything. Damn it.
Well, you wanted honesty. I gave you honesty.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I
Garrett Mitchell comes up to hit. Stroman deals. in first strike. Yeah, it's not even April yet, so we still actually our next game will be April 1st. So
I think here's my rule. You shouldn't be looking at standings until game 25.
I don't look at them and actually care until the summertime, as that's in first strike.
I would say game 25 you could like glance at them.
Yeah.
But don't start taking them.
Yeah, it's too early to take it seriously. I mean
unless you're
Yankees,
like,
of course.
Unless you're 1-24 and like 20 games back.
Yeah, then you got a problem.
Then you have a little bit of an issue.
But then again, you could always go on a 24 and run one stretch afterwards.
You could, but
that's the beauty of having 162 games to work with.
Yeah, but that just makes your road to get to the playoffs a lot harder. Because I mean, if a team is 1-24 at this point, or at that point, well, what are the chances they're going to go on a rip of 25?
Honestly, Vinny, there's only one team that could happen to, and I think you know which one that would be. But they did win opening day, so
they did win opening day, so I don't think
too. But then again, they beat the Angels. Does that really?
Yeah, I mean, when they play teams like the Angels, it's not.
Well, and then they get the Twins tomorrow, so they might get a reality check. So.
Yeah, the Twins are a pretty decent team.
Yeah. Inside 3-2.
That whole Central's just weird.
Yeah, well, it's the division of inconsistency.
I don't think Cleveland got any better.
3-2 pitch and caught strike 3. Mitchell thought it was a ball. It clearly wasn't. Caught the corner.
Ooh, it did hit the corner.
Got the backwards K there for out number 1. Nice strikeout by Stroman.
You know what, Mitchell? He's been calling those corner pitches pretty much beginning of this game.
You gotta admit that's some good framework there too,
and that was a good pitch. I mean, it was close enough where the umpire let the umpire.
You gotta swing at that.
Yeah, you gotta swing at it.
Comes up to hit. That's a ground ball foul.
Swing at anything close, man. That's what we're taught
in
Little League.
Yes. Ortiz last year a 239 hitter, 11 home runs, 60 ribbies, and a 726 OPS.
This kid's fast though. He's fast, and he's got a good glove. Very good glove from this kid. I mean, I actually like him. He's kind of your prototypical shortstop.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of
high fly ball in the right field. Judge has plenty of room to make the catch for out number 2.
Kind of reminds me of the guy that played for Cleveland all those years.
Yeah. By the way, Vinny,
so
I did see
the team store.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to get back to the Bronx this year.
Yeah.
The next time I'm in New York will be the first weekend of May.
Okay.
Try to get to a Ferry Hawk game. That's their home opening weekend.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Maybe that's Sunday if I don't have to come back to PA right away. Might have to go check out our old employees. That's the ground ball to second. Nice play by Chisholm. Fires the first for the final out. A nice 1-2-3 bounce back inning for Marcus Stroman. Through an inning and a half. Yankees still lead 2-1.
Like in the range there at second base from Chisholm. I mean, he had an error yesterday, but
Yeah, that was a nice play. You could see he had a hard time kind of getting a good grip on it. It is cold out, so.
Yeah, I mean, but he's he's got. Although I would say like Chisholm, I don't know if Chisholm's was when we went to that playoff run. I don't think he understood how cold it would get here. Because he's a Caribbean kid.
Yeah, he's a Caribbean kid. He played in Miami for a few years.
Played in Florida. Now he's here in New York, and it's like, oh yeah,
now
it's cold here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. Vinny, I'll ask you this as opening weekend comes to a wrap. Outside the Yankees, what have been your favorite moments from this weekend? If you have any.
That first game Seattle had at home, that was pretty big. Polanco and Rosarina going deep. Mm-hmm. Logan Gilbert showing out, although they haven't. I mean, they're 1-2 in that series now, but I haven't really. And just the Orioles, the way they're hitting right now.
They've looked good so far.
Kind of looking really good, and even Boston's looking pretty decent.
You're telling me that you were not hyped up by the Angels and the White Sox?
No, that was a series that I wanted to stay away from, about as far away from as possible.
Oh, come on!
I mean that's the low part of. I mean that's probably the lowest part of baseball right there.
Well, I would say
two teams that,
in all seriousness, we've actually had some pretty solid games this weekend in terms of matchups, like Cleveland, Kansas City. Those were two good teams.
Yeah,
Minnesota,
but I'm gonna
St. Louis, Boston. There's
the
it's a lot of good games this
probably
weekend. It was a
two of
good
the
start.
worst ownerships in baseball playing against each other. In
They're
in
showing in the
in,
Bronx
in the
this
Angels.
young kid that's not kid, but like you can see the way these people are wrapped up in the
All
blankets.
the
It is
blankets. Yeah,
cold in the
yeah,
Bronx,
it's cool.
as well as comes up to
Yeah,
hit.
yeah. So, well, yeah, the
It's
two
making
worst
crazy.
ownerships in baseball.
I've done cold weather games at the stadium. It's brutal. But
Yeah, it is
yes,
pretty
I
bad.
agree, Vinny.
Pretty bad. Yeah. So, um, one that
Oh,
spent
one
way too
pitch.
much money,
Well,
and the other that I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but anyway,
yeah, I agree.
I'll get off my soapbox for those two teams. I feel bad for the fans, is what it is. Like
That's
I feel
true.
bad for the fans. Are just they deserve better.
Yeah. Well, swings
You
and
know?
misses 1 and 2.
I'm not saying they need like a Hal Steinbrenner or a
But an ownership
Steve
that
Cohen.
cares.
Yeah,
I mean, the only thing I think that keeps Angels fans coming to the park is Mike Trout. That's it. Well,
yeah,
Trout.
yeah. And
If
he's
Mike
still
Trout
good, man.
wasn't loyal, he would probably be in either Philly or New York at this
Oh,
point.
he'd be a Philly or a Yankee or a Met. So he'd probably be one of those.
I'd love to have him. The only problem is, again, he can't stay on the field anymore.
Yeah.
That swung on and missed strike 3. Well, swinging high. It was close enough, though, that
I mean, yeah, he
protecting.
probably should have swung at that. I'd protect there too.
So, one out, as I believe it is Jason Dominguez coming up to hit.
I mean, that swing was. I understand what he was trying to do there,
Yes.
but trying to protect. But you got to shorten up a little bit on two
A little
strikes.
bit. Dominguez pops it foul.
Maybe if that's not a pitch that you like, maybe foul it off. Because a lot of these guys have very good back control, and they can.
Yes.
You don't have to take like a
One.
a mega hack at the ball.
Dominguez fouls it off again. Dominguez has been off to a kind of a cold start so far.
Yeah. He the two at bats he walked on were very good at bats. He was seeing the ball pretty good yesterday, but
His defense has been pretty good so
defense has
far.
been okay. I
Knock
don't think
on wood.
I don't think a lot of balls have gone out there really.
No, not
Honestly.
really. As that popped up towards the third base side, chasing it down as a third baseman and making a nice catch for out number 2. Tough play there with the wind.
All right.
So 2 down for Ben Rice. Ben Rice been off to a pretty good start so far.
Ben Rice hitting the ball pretty hard actually. Even though,
got a lot of power.
Yeah, he's
at the end of this
even his
inning, Vinny,
outs.
I am gonna have to step away. I might even have to step away now. Let's see.
Okay. Even his outs have been
Yeah, Vinny, I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. All right. So Savali deals. And that's inside for a ball. It's 1-1. Here's the pitch. And that one hit deep to left. And that is gone in the second deck. Ben Rice. I had said he was hitting the ball hard. That one was hit really hard. And we'll get the exit velo, and it's 103.7, 383 feet. That would have been out in 30 of 30 ballparks. And that puts the Yankees up 3-1. Ben Rice. The hard work paying off for Mr. Rice there. Good job. Savali kind of laid it in there, and Ben Rice put it in the second deck in right field. And up steps Oswaldo Cabrera. He takes strike 1, 0-1. Cabrera hit last year, hit 247, 8 home runs, 36 RBIs, 661 OPS. And here's the 0-1 pitch. And that one is high. Milwaukee wanted that one, but That one was served right up to Ben Rice. They're showing the replay. That one got too much of the plate, I think, the first Savali. And here's the 1-1 to Cabrera. That one hit hard. That one's gonna be caught. What a catch. What a catch by Sal Frelick. Diving catch in right field. Getting up slow. Looked like he landed right. Yeah, his looked like he landed awkwardly on the shoulder. But the Yankees pick up a run. And it's now 3-1 at the end of the second. Great play by Frelick. So I'm let's see. Let's go and see what we got going on the scoreboard. Toronto has a 2-1 lead in the top of the second. Tampa Bay leading Colorado 2-0 in the top of the second. Miami and Pittsburgh, bottom of the second, tied at 1. And
I apologize for that.
That's okay. Ben Rice went deep, buddy.
Of course. And that was the inning.
I got to make my home run call.
Oh, cool.
Wasn't great,
so
but oh well.
3-1.
It was hit 103.7 off the bat. Would have been out in 30 at 30 Parks. He hit it to the second deck and right.
I'll take that.
Yankees have a 3-1 lead. Good. Ben Rice, man, I was telling everybody, he's been hitting the ball really well. He's been getting the barrel on the ball. So
let me see if I can find a replay.
It was a nice shot right off the bat. It got too much of the plate for Savali. He went inside.
I'm guessing he had a torpedo bat.
I don't know. I wasn't watching his bat.
Oh, so you lied then. I got you.
I wasn't watching his bat. So I think they had said that Ben Rice wasn't using them.
Yeah. Well, he's always had good power without it. It's just last year he got cold at the wrong time.
Yeah, but Rice had to put a good swing on it. Put a good swing on it for sure.
So about 45 minutes ago, they asked Brewers closer Trevor McGill on the Yankees bats. He says, "Oh, it's just the Yankees, so they'll let it slide."
Oh, please. That's crazy.
People are so uneducated. I could use much worse words, but I won't. First pitch in there for a ball. No, strike.
It's crazy how that was it's crazy how it's the league just kind of
Again, I've been saying it the whole time is that's in there for 1-1. Had somebody like Milwaukee or Miami or Pittsburgh or Kansas City done it, we'd be praising them as geniuses. But because the Yankees did it,
I know, it's crazy. It's nuts.
I love it. Everybody claims they're not biased, but when it comes to the Yankees, all bias comes out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just don't think it makes much of a difference. It's in the rules. It's like I think it's like 26.1 in diameter or something like that, and I think it fits exactly the way it is. The only thing that it says in the rules is that you're not allowed to use experimental bats.
Yes.
And that's the only thing that probably the league may have a problem with. But I think the league is already okay. I think
they have to approve the bats before the game.
Right. But I think the league has already approved them because Cody's been using it since spring.
Yeah.
And there are other teams. Like I said, if your team wants to use them, use them.
Use them. Who's going to stop you?
Go ahead. It's not like the Astros in their trash can, like other people weren't doing it. They were the only ones doing it.
Yeah.
That we know of.
Nestor Cortez was
good old
he's Nestor. At the game. He just kind of given they're showing his welcome back thing yesterday.
Yeah. Welcome back, Nestor.
3-2. That's a ground ball weekly to third. Cabrera fields and fires for out number 1.
I still have my nasty Nestor shirt, by the way.
Never got one.
Yeah.
Also, I found out from Alex when he was doing his streams, the Yankees wouldn't let him wear that shirt on stream.
Really?
Yeah, I'll ask him about it later. I forget the reasoning, but yeah, they claimed some sort of copyright thing or something with it, so his Cheerio comes up to hit. Yeah, they wouldn't let him wear his nasty Nestor shirt.
But he bought that shirt.
No, that was the giveaway. That was the giveaway.
Oh, the giveaway. Okay. Well, I bought mine off of RotoWare.
Yeah.
So, If they say
Yeah,
anything about me buying a shirt, and I can't buy the
according
string
to
goods.
baseball or the Yankees or YouTube or somebody, it is not allowed.
Well, if you
0-1 pitch,
buy it,
swung
it's
on and
allowed
missed.
because there's no license. Because you're not
But
not
it's not your
advertising it.
design. I think that's what they're getting at.
Yeah, but
It's stupid. I
if
agree. I'm
I
not
paid
saying
my
that you're.
money to buy it, that's dumb.
They don't care.
If I wear a
That's
Roman
their
Reigns
way of getting
T-shirt,
money.
if I wear a Roman Reigns T-shirt and I bought it with my good money, and I paid the exorbitant price that
WWE
WWE
sucks when it
charges,
comes to copyright. So
why would they say anything about it?
I agree.
If it gets them to buy more shirts, oh, you're gonna get me off on a tangent on that one. That one's just that.
Like I said, when we talk, if we could get a chance, if Alex
That,
isn't busy, I'll have him explain it to you.
yeah, because that's just crazy. That's great. Now, if it's a free giveaway or something like that, I don't know. Maybe there's different rules, but
0-2 pitch,
I
swung on
paid
and missed, strike 3. Nice strikeout there for Stroman.
if I paid what they charge for some of these T-shirts, like $35, $40 for a T-shirt,
It's not cheap.
come on, and I want to
Even
wear it.
actually, this hoodie I got cheap. You remember Modell's?
Mm-hmm.
Got this for $50.
Yeah.
Had this thing for years. I miss Modell's. That was my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Whenever I come to
There
New
was
York,
one.
first place I'd love to go was Modell's.
There was one. There used to be one here on South Avenue.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yelich looks at strike 1.
Yeah, Modell's was never the same until once they sold the Browns.
Yeah, the 0-1 pitch.
Good old Art Modell.
Away.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember we stopped at last time I ever went to Modell's, we stopped outside the Barclays Center. We were going to a Knicks game, but we decided we wanted to go hang out in downtown Brooklyn for a little bit before we went to the game, and
Yeah.
it was the last time I went to one. That's where I got this hoodie.
There you
That's
go.
outside 2-1. I'd say so far outside of that first inning, Stroman has looked pretty good up to this point.
He has. He's been mixing his pitches.
In first strike, 2-2. I like how the yes bottom ticker, all it is just, it's not even scores. It's literally just, drop Xfinity because they want to.
Yeah, it's Comcast is like killing their business right now in New York
2-2
City.
pitch outside.
I don't understand what they're doing.
Yeah, literally, it's like I said, they're not even showing like out of town scores. It's literally just been the Xfinity message about how you need.
Yeah, they're like buy Verizon, FiOS, DirecTV, DirecTV Stream,
Fubo, which is what I'm watching on. 3-2 is fouled off. I like Fubo. I mean, I don't get the Mets up here like I would with cable, which is fine by me. Yeah. But now I get MSG and I get Pittsburgh. So
yeah, there you go.
I like it.
Fubo's expensive too, though.
But they're not as well. See, let me explain to you the difference between what we're paying versus Fubo versus cable. Fubo's for us with the good package is like $100 a month. Yeah, 100 a month, whereas cable is 300. As that is a ground ball to second, far as the first to end the inning. Nice At the end of 2.5, Yankees lead 3-1.
Yeah, I mean cable.
The only reason we kept our cable was because of my dad.
Yeah.
But
cables.
It was ridiculous, the price.
And that's part of the reason I have cable too. So, but I watch the Spectrum stream.
Yeah.
When I want to watch my Yankee games, I'll watch on Spectrum stream, which they've got a decent streaming. I mean, their app sucks, but
yeah,
but I mean, I would much rather be able to, but the problem is they want you to package all these deals with like other stuff.
Yeah,
and
like
you
don't want it.
Yeah, and they won't give you anything like a deal off of anything unless you do a package, and so it's just the way it is.
So according to Chris Kirschner, Aaron Judge has less than 0% interest in using the torpedo bats. Yeah. He says, what I did the past couple of seasons speaks for itself. Why try to change something if you have something?
Yeah, he's not, but he's not having a problem hitting it off the label though. He's barreling up baseballs. He's using the barrel. Yeah. Whereas a lot of these guys that are using the bat are just having a problem with barreling up balls, and they keep hitting them off the label.
Ben Rice home run. That was a nice shot. Yes, it was. So top of the order will come back up for the Yankees here. Paul Goldschmidt will lead it off.
Let's go
Goldschmidt, Belly, and Aaron Judge. believe we're already in the regular season. It feels like just yesterday we were just planning out our first spring training stream. Now we're already doing regular season games.
That's it. That's it.
Flying by.
It
And in
is.
2 days it'll be April.
That's
Soon enough
right.
we'll get
We're
more
already
warm weather
we're already
again.
in the 4th month of the year already.
Yeah. Already almost we're already a quarter of the way done with 2025.
We're almost at WrestleMania.
3 weeks away.
Look
I
at
can't
that.
wait for those streams, which,
Yeah.
by the way, falls on Easter. I don't know if you know that, as that's in for a strike.
Yeah.
Count 0 and
Yeah.
1. So I will still be available to stream. I just got to check and make sure, see what time the show starts. But yeah, the Sunday night 2 is going to fall on Easter. That's in for a ball. Count 1 and 1. A lot of good stuff in WWE. Got to watch a little bit of SmackDown the other night. Finally. There's the pitch to Goldschmidt. Weak chopper to third base. Fields fires out number 1.
Yeah, SI.com actually did an article on the torpedo bats legality.
Yeah, that figures.
So.
Quick update in AAA. Jose Rojas for the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders hit a solo home run. Scranton Wilkes-Barre leads 1-0. They're 0-2 to start the season, looking to salvage the final game of that 3-game set. You know who actually has been playing good that series, Vinny? Everson Pereira has a couple hits. That's it.
Yeah, I know. He's going to be good.
The breakout player over the weekend, I would say, from Scranton Wilkes-Barre is Ismail Manguia. We still haven't figured out how to say his name, but he's had a big weekend with Scranton. Then again, they have lost the first 2, but some positives to take away from the Turnpike rivalry is that's in for a strike. Count 0-2 on Bellinger. Yeah, Pereira's hitting 333 this weekend.
Nice.
And Guia's hitting 400 over the weekend.
Very nice.
So the offense has not been the problem for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And actually, Andrew Velasquez is hitting 375. It's been the pitching. That's been their big weakness. Lost 5-4 yesterday. Sean Boyle had a rough outing. 1-2 pitch on Bellinger. Upstairs, count 2-2. Scranton Wilkes-Barre, they continue their road trip Tuesday. They'll head up to Syracuse for the I-81 series against the Mets. A lot of trash talking between the Yankees and the Mets this weekend, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, I think it's really unwarranted. I don't
Look,
think
I get it. We have our beef with Soto right now, but
I understand that, but the guy, I mean, I understand. I mean, maybe I don't understand. I don't know.
Well, we had this conversation.
Like I said,
before.
I never thought he was going to be a Yankee anyway. You know,
Bellinger
obviously,
hits
I wanted him
out
to be one.
Shallow left. This one's going into foul territory, and nobody can make the catch. No, it's just right now. It's this beef of who's the better New York team? Brandon Nimmo says we are no longer New York's second team, and we will be New York's team.
Good for them. I'm glad they actually think that they're not the second team anymore.
All I'm going to say is
they should be thinking that.
All I'm going to say, Vinny, is come May 16th, rivalry weekend, when the Mets
but that makes it. I don't know. If you lose that series, though,
build up.
If you lose that series, you don't play again until
July 4th weekend.
But then, and then after July 4th weekend, you lose. If you lose both series, you know that's why I would rather talk after the series.
That's what I say.
And wait.
Look, I don't like. I despise the Mets. I really do. I root for them to lose every single day. But in the end, I'm not gonna trash talk them how terrible they are, because in the end they got it. You know, if they put up a good run, who am I to say anything?
Right.
2-2 pitch on Bellinger.
And we're pretty much as
high fly ball, deep right field. This one's got a chance. No, it does not. The wind is holding it up. Pulls that one way back in for out number 2.
Yeah, that one was.
He got a good hold of that, but it looked like the wind pushed that in.
Let's see what the
update. 2-0 Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Grant Richardson with an RBI double. Velasquez scores.
That was 101.2 off the bat.
Just got under it, but again, I think the wind really held that up as Aaron Judge comes up to hit.
Most home runs in the first.
Everson Pereira with an RBI single. 3-0 Rail Riders.
Tied with the 2019 Dodgers, and then the 2006 Tigers hit 15.
Nice. Judge hitting 545 this season so far. 1-0 pitch, because stats matter so much after 2 games, right, Vinny? Might as well
Yes,
call him the
that's
batting
mean.
champion already.
Although I would say like hitting 4 home runs in 2 games is pretty.
That's
I
pretty
think they're
good.
are they gonna?
That's a record.
I thought they were. I thought they were showing the
2-0 pitch on Judge is
percentage.
upstairs 3-0. I don't think they're going to pitch to Judge here. I
They're
think
not
the
going to
end's
pitch to
gonna
him.
walk.
No, of course not. They got to be crazy. 2 outs, nobody on. I'd take my chances with what's his name coming up.
Crowd is
See, they're just
something.
gonna put him on. They're just gonna put him on. They're not gonna bother.
I think
with
they just intentionally walked
Yeah,
him.
they're not.
Crowd is hating it.
I'm surprised they even gave him 3 pitches, like regular
So
pitches.
Chisholm comes up to hit. Time for Chisholm to make him pay.
Yeah.
I've always been somebody, Vinny, who is heavily against the intentional walk. I wish they would ban it, but the problem is you really can't. It's
a part of the
impossible.
strategy that's been part of the strategy for years,
strike.
man. So
it tells me you're a coward. That's what I think.
Well, San Francisco had been saying that forever with Barry Bonds.
Yes, and I'm saying it now with Aaron Judge.
Bond, they walked Bonds. I mean, what did he have? Like he averaged like 100 and something walks.
Chisholm weak foul ball.
So, and I think he was like I think he has the record for most intentional walks in a season.
Yeah, well, if you remember, the bases would be loaded, and they'd
still they'd walk him anyway. Yeah, I think was that Dusty, or was that
no, that was Dusty.
Was that LaRussa? Because I know LaRussa's done some
both of them.
Crap.
The 0-2 pitch to Jazz Chisholm, upstairs 1 and 2.
Yeah, just gotta. Yeah, there you go.
Chisholm looking to make them pay for walking Aaron Judge here. Savali's about to throw a 63rd pitch through just 2 2/3. The 1-2. That's a high fly ball, deep right field. That ball is gone.
Oh my goodness, that was hit. That was a dart.
Chisholm.
That was a dart.
And the Yankees take a 5-1 lead.
He hit that so. I want to see the exit velo on that one. Because that one was
Look out, 161st.
109
that is a missile.
109.1. 109.1. And that would have only been out in 10 parks.
That was only really because I thought that was only like, oh, you're probably.
He only hit at 346.
It did not look like 346. That just cleared the short porch. Yeah. Watch it here. He gets a good hold of it. It looked like he didn't even get it to the second row.
I think he hit it off the label too, off that part of the bat. He did. He hit it off the torpedo part of the bat. Did you see that? They showed the replay.
Count 0-1. I want to see where that landed because that did not look like 346. I'm not complaining, but nonetheless, 5-1 Yankees. Pitch to Volpe is up and away. Here's the replay.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, that was second row. There is no way that is 346. Watch the replay. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I saw it.
1-1's fouled off. All right, we're up to 3 replays.
Yeah, he hit it right off the.
Right off the torpedo.
Right off the torpedo part of the bat. I love his like home plate thing with the basketball. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
The Euro step.
Even did a Chisholm shuffle the other day on opening day. I don't know if you caught that at all.
I did.
I don't know how much more of a leash Savali has. This is going to be a 68th pitch already. That's a high fly ball in the infield. This should end it. Who's going to call it? Second baseman does. And that will end the inning. We're through 3. Yankees take a 5-1 lead off the bat of Jazz Chisholm, making them pay for the intentional walk. We're a third of the way home. Yankees lead 5-1.
There we go.
And since we're already a third of the way through the game, would you like to do an out-of-town scoreboard?
Sure. So obviously 3-1 here. 5-1, sorry. I'm not on there. I may have to go to a different app because the Savant app doesn't really keep track.
You want me to do it? I already have it up already.
Yeah, if you could do it because it doesn't even have the Yankees score updated yet.
Of course. Savant, get your stuff together. So
Yeah, I mean, it's an MLB thing.
in
So.
in Cincinnati, the San Francisco Giants lead the Cincinnati Reds by a score of 1-0. That game's already in the top of the fifth. In Washington, the Phillies National rivalry, a lot of heat from this series, 0-0 bottom of the fourth. The Nationals fans have been petitioning to keep Phillies fans out of DC as they were upset about them doing Eagles chants during the game. If you don't believe me, go to YouTube. You'll find it. It's really goofy, and it might be the first time I actually think Philly is right here. So that's just my take on it. I think it's funny. In Steinbrenner Field, the Rays lead the Rockies by a score of 2-0. That game's in the bottom of the fourth. Staying within the state of Florida, down in Miami, the Marlins and Pirates are tied at 1 apiece. That game's in the bottom of the fourth. In the AL East, up north of the border, the Blue Jays lead 2-1 over the Baltimore Orioles. That game is in the top of the fourth. In Kansas City, they just got going a little bit ago. Top second, still scoreless in Kansas City. Good battle for the AL Central. In Vinny's matchup of the weekend, the Angels and White Sox are tied 2 apiece in the top of the second. In St. Louis, the Cardinals currently trail the Minnesota Twins by a score of 1-0. That game is in the bottom of the first. Red Sox and Rangers set to go at about 2:35, which means they should be going any moment now. Later today, 4:10, Cubs take on the D-backs. At 4:10, the Athletics, I almost said it, I didn't. The Athletics will take on the Mariners at 4:10. JP Sears, former Yankee, takes the mound in that one. And tonight, the Sunday night baseball game of the weekend, the San Diego Padres will look for a 4-game sweep of the Atlanta Braves. So a good one in San Diego, but not a good weekend for the Braves to get the season started as we are back underway in the Bronx. And that is your out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by me.
Yeah. How many of these like morning shows and like first takes and all that are going to talk about these bats tomorrow?
Oh, I can't wait. As that's a base hit there for William Contreras. Oh yeah, that's gonna be the talk all week. Especially, actually, you know what is probably gonna be at its worst is WFAN because half their friggin' staff is all Mets fans. So that's all we're gonna hear about is.
So the guy who created the bat now works for Miami.
Yes. Sal Frelick comes up to hit one on, nobody out. Stroman sets and deals. In for a strike count, 0-1. Notice it's getting a little darker at the stadium. Check the weather, but I think they said we're still clear from rain for a little while.
Even the manager of the Brewers said players are doing everything to try to get an edge today legally, and I think they should. I think whatever is good for the offensive game is good for the game. So even the manager of the Brewers isn't complaining about it. So I mean,
no, they just have to learn how to beat it. The 1-1 pitch,
or get
high fly ball in the infield. This will likely be an infield fly. Cabrera makes the catch, one away.
I mean, or you could just get them yourself. Try them out. You know, they're not for everybody, obviously.
On the weather that is coming, it is officially past Pittsburgh. It's in central PA, which means it's probably going to hit me within the next hour or two. I think this game will be safe.
Hey, as my mom used to say, at least it's not snow.
We're good.
At least it's not snow.
I agree, but you know what, Vinny? It's still only March. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
As Jake Bauers comes up to hit.
There you go.
There's the first pitch outside. 0-1. Bauers, 0-for-1, hit 199 last year in 117 games, 12 home runs, 43 RBIs. He was one of those guys that, for the Yankees, didn't do a whole lot, but he was randomly clutch when you needed him to be. Never forget his legendary...
Bauers has always been a solid guy.
Never forget his legendary 2-home run performance against the Dodgers a few years ago.
Yeah. That was when we had all those injuries.
Yeah.
We had to put him in the outfield.
That was the weekend that Judge crushed his toe.
Yeah.
And we lost him for a good chunk of the year.
Yeah, we had the walking wounded out there.
Outside,
we looked like a mash unit.
2-1. Yeah.
So
2-1 count on Bauers. We're in the top of the fourth. Yankees holding the 5-1 lead. Brewers have a runner on first. with 1 out in the inning. Stroman deals outside in 1.
So how much of this do you believe about Yes Network saying that they won't be in a higher tier for Comcast and
I don't
helping the
fully
fans out?
honestly, Vinny, this is the first I'm hearing of this. You told
So
me
they
about
want to
it
charge
earlier.
you. They're going to charge you like $20 more
Yeah.
just for
3-1
having
pitch.
Yes Network.
That's a high fly ball, deep right field. This ball is gone. A home run for Jake
Right by
Bauers.
the pole too. That was
And it is
3.
5-3.
That had to have been about 314, 315. There's no way that was.
I couldn't tell if that hit the pole or if that was
That might have hit the pole.
331. They have it. Exit velo 108.7 off the bat of
108.7.
Jake Bauers.
331.
Yeah, I'm not buying into some of this, if I'm going to be
I
honest
think
with you.
I think what they're doing is like, I don't know. I think they're
Oh,
like,
it was off the fan's glove. That's who it. I
okay.
believe either that or it hit that caging right there. I couldn't.
No, the fan couldn't make the catch. Sorry.
But that's embarrassing. 5-3 Yanks, top 4.
Yeah, well, we need to.
There's a
Stroman.
spider on my TV.
Oh, I'll kill it.
I don't have a shoe. Oh, well.
Don't
bother
throw
me.
anything. Don't throw anything at your TV.
No, not yet. Anyway, the Yankees haven't done anything.
Oh,
to
that
me
one
to do that.
off the end of the bat. He hit that one.
Fly out the center 2 away. You can tell this is my storage room. I got spiders in here now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They show the replay again. Oh, I see. It didn't. Oh, it caught the very edge of the netting of the.
Oh, it did hit the netting. Okay.
Okay. It just.
Sorry to that fan that's out there. I thought, maybe
he had his glove in a good spot there. That's called a strike.
Yeah.
He looks a little disappointed. You see him in the crowd. But I respect him for bringing the glove. If you're somebody who picks on a grown man for bringing a glove, you're a jerk off.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't pick on anybody, but I do think like, I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean, wearing a glove in the right field seats at Yankee Stadium is not.
I call it smart. What if the man has like an office job?
I would hate to
imagine.
So some of these balls are hit at over 100 miles an hour. Do you want to try to catch that with your bare hand?
Yes.
I'm not catching that with my bare hand.
I wouldn't either. So I don't fault a grown man for bringing a glove. You're gonna call him childish. I'm gonna say you're a child because you're getting upset over something stupid.
No. It's protection.
High fly ball in the infield. Goldschmidt makes the catch to end the inning, but not before the Brewers strike for 2 off the bat of Jake Bauers to make it 5-3.
Jake Bauers.
We go to the bottom of the
coming
4th.
back to haunt us.
Yankees lead 5-3. Really feels like Stroman's had a solid start. That's probably his biggest mistake of the day so far.
Did I see this right? Devers had 3 strikeouts in a day.
What up, Alex? Alex, we were just talking about you.
Alex.
If you got a quick moment, can you explain to Vinny why you could not wear your Nasty Nestor t-shirt on stream? If you got a moment. If not, that's okay. But I was explaining it to Vinny, and he couldn't believe it.
Well, yeah, because the reason why I say that, and I've said it, is because you paid for that shirt. It's not like licensing.
I think it was from one of the giveaways. I think it was Nasty Nestor.
If it's something free, I can probably see it. And even then, it's like, why? Especially if you're if you're not selling the shirts, maybe. But if you want to sell shirts, what better way to advertise?
Well, hopefully, if he's still here, we can get a brief explanation of what happened.
Aaron Nola having a tough day in
DC,
down in Washington.
What's going on there? Let's see. Yeah, 3-0. He had a good first 3 innings, but now he's given up 4 hits.
Don't care about that game.
Red Sox go to the bottom of the 1st, no score. They could not score there.
Devers had 3 strikeouts yesterday.
On stream, Alex, didn't you say you couldn't wear it on stream on YouTube? You better make me sound crazy. If I got this mixed up with something,
it might have been. It might have been something else. I mean, I don't know, but I just don't remember.
Showing on the former Yankees and Brewers. We got.
I used to love the
Sheffield, Willie Randolph, Richie Sexson.
That was a short stay in Milwaukee, by the way.
Yeah.
Sexson originally was a Brewer.
Graham Lloyd.
Graham Lloyd. The old Aussie.
My boy CC. He's my favorite pitcher ever. Always will be.
CC
As well as coming up to hit.
basically willed them to the playoffs that year.
I think CC too.
He had an amazing year.
Tyler Alexander, the new pitcher for the Brewers, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I kind of mixed up. All right, I'm gonna ask you about it later if we can actually talk.
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah,
something is. I remember something along the lines of one of the giveaways. You couldn't wear the shirt because they said it was like copyright or something like that.
Yeah,
Wells was up to hit. Anyway, I sound stupid now, so it's okay.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
2-0 count on Wells. So Alexander, a lefty pitcher.
I kind of want to get my hands on one of these bats now.
Just to do like a comparison, yeah.
Just to
swung on and missed. Big swing on.
And I'd like to take one to like a cage or something and swing it. See what it feels like. Like swing a regular bat and then swing one of those.
That wasn't crazy. I don't know why he was swinging there. That was way inside, very tied up.
Sometimes when you're doing well, you get a little swing happy.
That is true. That is very true.
So
2-1 count on Wells. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Alexander deals. In for a strike, count 2-2.
Oof. Well, he's consistent on those corners.
Yeah, so far. Which that's something we can both appreciate considering the last couple days.
Well, that first game was just angering.
2-2 is outside 3-2.
See, the other umpire.
I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, you have the date. When is our next Yankee live stream?
Our next Yankee live stream. Do I?
I know they did not save it in my calendar for some reason. I know you have it.
Okay.
Fouled off, still 3-2.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if I.
I know you said you took a screenshot.
I
or
did.
Something like that.
Oh yeah, I did take a screenshot. You're right.
3-2 count on Wells.
Aren't you the best there, buddy?
I try sometimes.
I know I took a screenshot somewhere.
3-2 pitch.
Oh, you know what I did?
Alexander deals. That's a high fly ball in the shallow left center. And the catch is made for out number 1.
I used a screenshot app. That's what I did. And I have it. Now, can I find where I put it? That's the
$1 million question. Otherwise, we may have to reschedule our live streams.
Yeah.
I do know our next WWE live stream will be Saturday, April 19th, when the
Google Doc
first night of WrestleMania takes place.
I thought you put it on a Google Doc, didn't you?
No, that was spring training.
Oh, you put it on. You put it on a chat. That's right.
You shouldn't put it in like a notes app or something either.
No, I took a screenshot of it from my computer.
0-1 count on Dominguez. You can see how well organized we are. We don't even.
Yeah, we're very, very well organized, by the way. So,
we just know it's once a week, and this is the only one we're doing this week. Update from Lehigh Valley. TJ Rumpfield with a solo home run to give the Rail Riders a 4-0 lead in the Turnpike rivalry. Well, there's 2 names you could come up with that series. You could either call it the 476 series, I-476, or you call it the Turnpike rivalry. Both. Either way, Rail Riders lead that 1-4-0. On a cold, chilly day in eastern Pennsylvania and a cold, chilly day in the Bronx. 2-1 pitch to Dominguez. Called a strike, count 2-2, outside pitch.
I am efforting that right now to see if I still have it.
Alexander sets and deals the 2-2 pitch.
I do have it. Look at this.
He found it. Yay.
So it looks like April 11th versus the Giants.
Nice.
And then April 12th, and then April 25th and 26th.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a gap, as obviously some of you know. I'll be in Pittsburgh this upcoming weekend for Yankees Pirates. We will have some more videos up. We are going to finally get some WWE recording in tonight. I apologize for the little layoff. Not only was I in New York last weekend, but I was also very sick a couple days ago. So,
And it looks like April 11th.
95% better.
it seems like, according to this, Alex will be joining us on that April 11th stream.
Cool. That'll be a home series. I know that. We won't be calling anything from the road trip. So count full 3-2 on Jason Dominguez. Vinny, just to make sure, we didn't, aside from, did we schedule anything 19th or 20th?
No,
okay.
We did not.
That's outside for ball 4. Dominguez.
The 11th and 12th were the only April, and then the 25th, I believe we did.
Okay. Want to be sure because
25th
we
and 28th. 25th versus Toronto, 28th versus Baltimore.
Okay. Wanted to make sure we didn't have anything mixing up with WrestleMania. I'm probably going to set up a jinx here, but it doesn't affect me in any way because it's not my team. We have a perfect game alert. The Giants are currently perfecting the Reds. That game's in the top of the 6th. Ben Rice grounds second, fires to second for 1 on the 1st. It's a double play. That will end the inning. We go to the top of the 5th. Yankees lead 5-3. Yes, the San Francisco Giants are currently working on a perfect game. So we'll keep an eye on that. We do have MLB.TV, so if we have to, we will interrupt just to see if we can call a perfect game on here.
Yeah, that would be
pretty cool. Even though it's not our team, that would be sick.
Let's see. That'd be Robbie Ray.
Nice.
The forgotten man.
Justin Verlander actually pitched for them yesterday. He actually had a pretty decent start. He only gave up 2 runs.
They got some veterans. I mean, they got Logan Webb. Ray, and Verlander. If Ray and Verlander
the Giants
can get back to
me one of those teams where if you're a journeyman, that's your place to.
Yeah, but I mean, if they get, and they signed Willie Adames, so that's 32 home runs they added to their lineup. So
yeah.
And
they also just extended their lead to 4-0.
And Helio Ramos.
Ramos 2-run home run, or his second home run, I mean.
Ramos is very good too. So they've got a pretty decent lineup too.
Yeah. But they lead 4-0.
If Ray and Verlander can get back to anything close,
that's a good team.
They might make a run.
Now the question is though, Robbie Ray is not one to go deep.
Yeah, I know. He's already got 61. He's got 61 pitches through 5 right now.
Which actually that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. But what do you do once you get to the 3rd time through the order, which would be in the 7th if he gets a good 6th inning?
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know. It might be interesting. Let me see his savant right now. See if it's up to date or up. Where is that game? There it is. Let's see. I mean, it's not like they haven't really been hitting their balls hard there, though, because Ellie hit one at 107.8 in that game.
Yeah.
So he hit one at 107.8 and 103. So.
Stroman coming back out for his 5th inning of work. Yankees holding on to a 5-3 lead. As Oliver Dunn comes up to hit. First pitch upstairs. But yeah, we'll be monitoring that Giants-Reds game closely. See if maybe we could call some history on here. If that's the case, Vinny, I'll give you the honors of calling that one. How's that sound?
There you go. Robbie Ray's got 9 swings and misses in that game.
So 2-0 count on Dunn.
Also top pitch velocity at 95. So he's throwing hard.
Yes, he is. 2-0 pitch in for a strike. I will say Stroman, one of our keys to the game earlier was to keep guys off base. So far, he's actually done a pretty good job at that. Marcus Stroman. 2-1 pitch. Lined. Oh, what a snag by Anthony Volpe. Fires the first in time. What a play.
Nice play.
Oh, my goodness. On the hop. Falls to his back. Makes an amazing play. Great throw.
And he was in the right spot, too. I mean.
Right up the middle. That took a weird hop. Bouncing from his left.
They had him
to his
shifted,
right.
too. Beautiful.
What a play.
Nice play.
That was such a weird hop. It bounced from his left to his right, and he kept his glove with it the whole time.
See how hard that was hit. That was hit pretty hard. 94 miles an hour, but, you know.
Count 0-1. They go to the bottom of the 6th in that game, so the Giants coming back to the mound. We'll see how Robbie Ray does. 0-1 count on Bryce Terang.
Saving a base hit. That was good.
Nice play. I thought it might have set up a jinx right there, talking about how they've kept runners off base. That's in their first strike count. 0-2. Tim Hill is now warming up in the pen.
Yeah, I think
Which the Yankees, they can use their pen up a little bit today, being that they have the off day tomorrow.
You think we see Devin?
That's inside 1 and 2.
I mean, you pretty much. I think you have to put him out there if it's close.
Yeah,
just to kind of get him. You got to get him work.
Well, again, if they don't play for 2 days, so
yeah.
If his arm feels good, I'd say you put him in. That's a high fly ball in the left field. Dominguez is under it. Hold your breath, makes the catch.
Yeah,
2 away.
Good job, Dominguez got that. There you go. Although
holding on
almost
to that
fell out. Look at him. Look
at
him. It almost fell out. I think that's what he's smiling about.
2 hands on the glove. I don't know why. Oh yeah, look at the way he caught that off the end of the glove.
Yep, that's why. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a little hold your breath.
That's a recipe for disaster.
And that's what you can see the way he held on. He's like, yeah, I still got it. I still got it. I'm good.
He knows.
Cheerio up the bat.
Wonder who he was looking at when he did that. I think it might have been Volpe.
Probably.
Volpe or Cabrera.
Is it just me or does Dominguez kind of look like Solo Sokoa?
He does a little bit.
Doesn't he?
A little bit.
Without the tattoos?
Yeah.
And the perfect game bid is over as soon as I said it.
Good job, Sean.
I told you.
You just messed up. All those San Francisco Giants fans are going to come for you, man.
Too bad.
They're all coming for you. And they're coming for our torpedo bats, too.
How's Arson Judge doing, San Francisco? I don't feel an inch of sadness for you.
They're coming for you and the torpedo bats.
0-2 pitch, Stroman deals outside. Oh, well, so much for that.
Oh,
we'll get our moment someday, Vinny.
That's like the guy the announcer who says he hasn't missed a field goal in 34 tries, and then all of a sudden doinking it off the crossbar.
By the way, football came back this weekend. If you're a fan of football, you're looking for something to watch, well, the USFL is back. If you actually care about that.
I've watched more than enough football for 5 lifetimes right now.
Well, in terms of good football, remember spring games get started next week.
Yeah, Ohio versus Kentucky, not good football.
Yeah, that's low and away too.
Especially when you have backup quarterbacks in there.
My Fighting Irish got their spring game 13 days from now.
I saw someone had a pro day too, and
I know the Irish just did a couple days ago.
They had their pro day. They're probably the only ones.
When you were in Washington State, was the Husky spring game a big deal out there? That's a base hit for.
Yeah, it was.
Dominguez bobbles it, but he keeps it in front of him. Yeah. So Cheerio will hold it first.
Yeah.
And out comes Aaron Boone. I think that's going to do it for Marcus Stroman.
That was hit at almost 110 miles an hour. So.
Why take him out here? Let him finish. He can't get a decision now.
I mean, he could leave him out there for one more hitter, but
give him the inning at least. You get into trouble, then yes, you bring in Tim Hill. Unless did the Brewers have the Brewers probably have a lefty coming up. I don't agree with this. This is one of my biggest gripes with Aaron Boone is that took a weird hop. I don't know that I fully believe
it was hit hard too. It was a hit 109.8. So
Yelich is coming up the hit, so I think that's why they're making the move here.
Yeah, I think they're going to the lefty.
Bellinger and Judge right now talking with Dominguez. Look at the height difference between these guys. Oh,
I know.
Goodness.
I thought he was on his knees.
I did too, right? Like he was like they're like almost a foot.
Bellinger's
taller.
Pretty tall too.
Yes, he is. But again, I don't fully fault Dominguez for that. I think
that ball was hit hard. It took a bad hop.
So I think he just needed to change his glove positioning. I think he just needed to kind of, But pitching change. Tim Hill will be coming in. Honestly, I know Stroman gave up the 3 runs, but I'm actually pretty happy with his start today. I really can't make too many complaints.
Wasn't too bad.
He did his job. He kept runners off base. He obviously had the one big mistake with the home run, but all in all, pretty solid day for Stroman. I'll take it. It's
definitely.
So we wait for Yelich to come up to the plate as they're in.
Look at his breakdown.
Commercial break.
So Stroman threw 27 sinkers, 20 slurves, 14 sliders, 14 cutters, 3 splitters, and only 3 four-seamers. And his max velocity was 90.8.
That's pretty standard for Stroman, not the hardest thrower.
Although his all of his other metrics on his breaking pitches were his spin rates were all up, and his breaks were not great. So yeah, I mean,
Well, Aaron
not a bad
Boone
day.
right now talking what Stroman's telling. I guess Stroman looks a little upset after his outing today, which we all know he can do better. It's his first start. I'm not going to be too harsh on him.
Yeah, his first start.
Nice swing and a miss there. Good pitch there by Tim Hill on that beautiful sinker for strike number 1.
Yeah, you go from a guy that's averaging about 90, and then you go from a sinking sidewinder. It's got to be rough to try to hit that, by the way.
0-1 pitch. Foul.
By the way, I'd like to ask all these athletes to go out and do that. Try to hit that ball right there.
Reds just hit a 2-run home run, by the way, so I really kind of
the Reds
thinks that one.
You
Tim
did.
Hill last year with the White Sox and the Yankees, 4-0, 3.36 ERA, 67 innings pitched, 2 home runs, 19 walks, 31 strikeouts. The 0-2 caught on him as strike 3. What a beautiful pitch there by Tim Hill.
Timmy.
And we are officially halfway home in the Bronx. Yankees with a 5-3 lead.
Austin Wynns went deep for Cincinnati.
Nice. Philly fans are probably losing it right now. They trailed 3-0. Philly fans have been complaining all weekend. They have 2 nice wins, and all they could do is complain.
Yeah, they're losing to Mitchell Parker, too, which he's a young kid.
Which I know we talked about it on the post-game show the other day. Shout out to Mackenzie Gore again.
Yeah,
13 strikeouts in that one.
He was pretty
Philly
good.
struck out 19 times the other day. That was a good outing.
I think that Washington team is going to be good. They're young. They
remind me of the Orioles a few years
guys
ago. They remind me of Baltimore a few years ago. They're going to be a good team.
Dylan Cruz is going to be a star. So is James Woods. They've got 2 solid guys that they could create around. So I think they're going to be good.
I agree. That reminds you of the upcoming Yankees schedule, if you're not sure. They will be off tomorrow. And by the way, they're calling for a lot of rain this week, so the schedule could very well change. They play Tuesday, 7:05 versus D-backs. It'll be Corbin Burns versus Will Warren. Wednesday, they take on the D-backs, 7:05. The first Amazon game of the year. Carlos Rodon will pitch. Fuck you, Amazon. Thursday, they play the D-backs, 7:05. Cookie Carrasco making his Yankees debut. And then Friday, they begin their first road trip when they head out to the Steel City to take on the Pirates for 3. Friday's game is an afternoon game, 4:12 first pitch in honor of the area code for Pittsburgh, 4:12. Saturday's game, also 4:05 versus the Pirates. Sunday, 1:35 next week. And then they take on the Tigers for 3 to wrap up their first road trip. So they'll go out Midwest. Wow, today the trivia question for the Yankees, I don't know how anybody's going to get it. It goes from 1926 to 1939.
39.
If you can get this, you should be like, you deserve like $1,000 gift card.
Played with the Dodgers and the Cubs and the Mets.
No, that's not the Mets. That's the Giants.
Oh, the Giants.
New York Giants, Brooklyn Dodgers, Cubs, and Yankees. You can hear. I'm
trying to think of a former Yankee that back then that played with the Cubs.
First pitch in there for a strike on Cabrera. He's 0 for 1. 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed.
Got the final stat line on Sabali if you want it.
Go ahead.
3 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 3 home runs. He ends the day with a 15 ERA.
Not the start he was looking for, but he'll bounce back. It's when you're going up against a team that you saw a lot of. He'll be fine.
So that I don't know why I wonder why they pulled that trivia out, because I know they said they're not doing anything based on the team that they're playing basically anymore.
But see, that's 19.
There had to be a reason. Has to be a reason why they picked that player.
I don't know, but whoever, like I said, whoever gets it deserves like $1,000 gift card or something like that to like Peter Luger's or something.
Yeah.
Fouled off by Cabrera. Count still 1-2. Just past halfway in the Bronx. Yankees up 5-3. Game's flying by. It's only 3:05. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Cabrera goes down for out number 1. So we go back to the top of the order with Paul Goldschmidt up to bat. He is 1 for 2, singled in the first. Eventually would come around to score. Yankees looking for the sweep to get this opening week off to a good start. That's in their first strike. Count 0-1. Yankees in the third of their 6-game homestand before they hit the road for 6. What a brutal start to their first road trip. Pittsburgh and Detroit in early April.
Mm-hmm.
That's a recipe for snow games and, snow games. I'll leave it at that. And wind. Wind. That was what I was going for. 1-1 pitch. Line foul. Count 1-2. Yeah, schedule makers, and not to mention, these are all tough teams the Yankees are starting off their season with. Milwaukee's no pushover. As bad as we beat them yesterday, Milwaukee's a good team. They made the playoffs for a reason. Arizona, like you said, a lot of good hitters. Pittsburgh, I'm almost certain we'll probably see Paul Skeens some point next weekend. He's a tough pitcher who beat us up pretty good last season, as that's outside 2-2. Detroit always plays us tough, especially in Detroit. Not an easy start to the schedule.
Definitely not.
2-2 pitch on Goldschmidt. Alexander deals upstairs. Definitely not a good start for Savali when you know you needed some length out of him, knowing that the Brewers' rotation is as beat up as it is. That bullpen's going to be tired. And they don't get an off day. They get their home opener tomorrow, 2:10 against the Kansas City Royals. That's caught looking strike 3. Borderline pitch. Got to swing at that goal.
I wonder if that player is not Tony Lazzeri. Because I know that he played with all those teams, but I don't know if he had those stats. The old Italian.
We'll
guy.
Find out in a few innings.
Tony Lazzeri. That's the only guy that comes up to me that played with all those teams. But I don't know.
Cody Bellinger. Here's the pitch.
But I don't know if he had those stats. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, you're not supposed to look it up to cheat, so.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying is the stats. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's the only guy I could think of that played with.
Here's the pitch.
He didn't. I don't know.
Outside 1-1
with the New York Giants. I don't know.
But as I mentioned, Brewers home opener tomorrow. They got another tough 3-game set. They got to welcome Kansas City for the next 3.
The good old Royals, who probably are going to win that division this year. I think.
Well, they currently trail right now as that's swung on and missed 1-2. Royals right now, they're looking for that. They're playing the rubber game of their 3-game set against Cleveland.
Yeah.
Kansas City down 1-0. That game's only in the bottom of the 3rd.
Good old Vinny's back and healthy.
Yes.
Pasquantino. Good Italian boy.
We like that.
Yeah.
1-2 pitch.
But he spells his name wrong.
Yeah, I know. That's outside.
Vinnie. Come on, man. You're Italian. Don't spell it like that.
I would say, Vinny, you should spell it like that. See how many people you can
No, I correct people when they spell it like that.
I didn't think anybody actually would spell it like that.
And I don't, I had a lot of professors that would spell it like that.
Oh, because they got to be different.
Yeah.
Bellinger bloops one in the left. Catch is made to end the inning.
Oof. That was nice.
We're through 5 in the Bronx. Yankees lead 5-3.
So,
we're the 6th already.
Top of the 6th.
We'll see if they send Tim Hill back out there. I don't see why they wouldn't. He only threw for 1.
Yeah, because there's a lot of lefties in that lineup too.
That's what I'm saying too. I say you leave him out there.
Because what's
another inning?
Who's coming back up for?
It will be Yankees. William Contreras.
Yeah,
he's leading off.
Righty, I believe.
Frelick and then Bowers. So you do have a lefty in there with Bowers.
Have a lefty in there.
Frelick, who I believe is a lefty. So
yeah, so you got 2 out of 3 lefties. So I think. And by the way, Robbie Ray's out of that game.
All right.
He finished the line with 5 1/3, 3 earned runs, 3 runs, 3 hits.
You'd never know
1
he had a
walk,
perfect
4
game.
strikeouts. Yeah. He only gave up 3 hits.
Update in the Lehigh Valley, Iron Pigs cut the lead to 4-1 as Peyton Henry doubled in a run. Lehigh Valley cuts the lead. I almost said Hendry. I was thinking of that dude Joe Hendry, your buddy.
Oh God.
TNA. Do you believe in Joe Hendry?
Probably the most overrated wrestler in.
So you're saying you don't believe in Joe Hendry?
I don't believe in Joe Hendry. I hate that song.
That's all he's known for. You realize that, right?
I know, and that's the thing. It's just so.
Oh, so here's the answer to name that Yankee. Played with the Yankees from 1926 to 37, Cubs in 38, Brooklyn Dodgers in 39, and the New York Giants. And oh, you were right, Vinny.
Oh my goodness, Tony
Lazzeri.
There you go.
I shouldn't have said anything about the gift card now.
Yeah, give me a gift card now, baby. That's the only guy I could think. But that's the only guy I could think of back in that day that played
for those teams.
Lazzeri.
Very good guess, Vinny.
Yeah.
So Tim Hill is back out there.
I know my Yankee history.
Yes, you do. That's impressive. I will give you that. I give you all the props. You should you should probably clip that and send that to any employer and say, "Hey, I got this question right."
Well, I don't know about that, but
that's outside 2-0.
So, but yeah, I've done my Yankee studying.
Yes, you have.
I know a lot about this team, but again, I didn't realize he played with the Giants. That was
same year.
Matter of fact, I couldn't even recognize that symbol. The fact,
that it was a Mets symbol at first.
It was a Mets. So interesting.
In the top of the 6th, Contreras 1 for 1. Here's the pitch, up and in. Count 3-1. I still don't like that they changed that to where now it's based off of who you're playing against. That's a line drive right at Jazz Chisholm, 1 away. Chisholm didn't even have to move.
Yeah, nice.
Iron Pigs cut the deficit to 4-2 against the Rail Riders. Oscar Mercado with an RBI double. So Scranton Wilkes-Barre struggling right now.
Good old Scranton.
The rest of the minor leagues get started this upcoming Friday.
There you go.
Here's the pitch. Inside. Don't know where that quite missed. Count 1-0. The president and CEO of the Yes Network is in the broadcast booth.
Oh, great.
Count 1-1.
That ball was hit hard by Contreras. 114. And Jazz just reached out and grabbed it.
1-1 pitch. Inside 2-1.
So how is
he's losing the strike zone a little bit?
How is game day like 2 pitches ahead of us?
Because we're watching on stream.
I'm not going to say what happened, but it already has what happened.
Yeah. I've been keeping up with that all game. No, it's because we're watching on a streaming server. Like Fubo's not regular cable that you stream off of.
And that's what they said was going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh wait, they're actually they're more than that ahead.
By the way, South Carolina beat Duke. They're advancing to the
good. I can't stand Duke. There's another team that
to the championship.
There's another team. Duke. Ugh.
It is 4-3 Rail Riders. They have given up another run. Cal Stevenson with a single.
By the way, I do respect all those Duke fans out there that might be watching this or watch it later. I do respect Krzyzewski. Trust me.
Yes, I think we all do.
But you can still like people hate the Yankees. I didn't like Duke. That's it.
So 2 down in the inning. Bowers looks at strike 1. Yeah, like you said, Vinny, I've already seen the outcome of this entire inning on game day. So.
Yeah, I know they're it's already over.
Pitch is in there for a strikeout. 0-2 on
the
Bowers.
Inning is already over.
It's a good resource to use, but when
it
you don't
is.
have
But it's
regular cable, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah, definitely.
0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 3 on the check swing. That will end the inning.
That was a good call by you, Sean. Keeping Tim Hill out there. Good job.
Yes. See,
so was that Boone that made a good call? Keeping him out there?
I like how, oh, of course, Yes Network, they got a show. By the way, call Xfinity to cancel.
Yeah, I know. Call it.
That's funny.
By the way, was that Boone to make a good decision to keep?
I still would have liked to
Hill
see
in there?
Stroman go another, but it worked out, so I can't complain.
Okay. Just
It'll
kind of
be
gotta,
middle of the
gotta
order
give him his.
coming up.
Hey, you got to give the man his flowers when it,
I
when it
will
comes.
when he does it when it really matters.
Okay, so he could make a bazillion great decisions during the year, but
If he screws up when it matters most, I will still lose my mind. You know me. You
what
know
if
me
we
by
win like
now, Vinny.
120 games this year? 130
Vinny,
games.
you clearly don't know me that well, do you?
Set the record for most wins in a season, and the guy will get lambasted if we lose in the World Series.
I'll tell you this: even if the Yankees win the World Series, nobody's giving Boone credit.
I am. Hey, speak for
You're
yourself.
one of a few, Vinny. I'm talking about the general Yankee fan base.
The only reason is as I've said it before. Who are you going to get?
That's not the point. The point is
who
they want.
Who are you going to get, Sean?
Well,
tell me who. Tell me who.
You're not going to, Vinny. Whoever they would get would be the same thing as Boone.
Exactly.
It's a yes man. It wouldn't matter who. You could hire me or you.
So why not
as long as we. Vinny, if you or I were hired today, only thing we would need to answer in that interview is we'd have to talk like Jacob to Solo Sikoa. Yes, my tribal chief, I will do whatever you say.
Well, now Jacob's not doing that no more.
That's why I said beforehand.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Even if you took Dave Roberts and like I said, take Dave Roberts and switch him with Aaron Boone, it's the same thing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And Dave Roberts has 2 World Series.
So they actually did not go to a commercial break at all just to tell you about how terrible Xfinity is. That's actually I find that funny.
That's crazy.
First pitch outside, 1-0 to Judge. Hit that 2-run home run.
I would be again surprised if they give him anything in the strike zone.
I know. I hate it, but you're right.
If I'm Judge, I'm like looking at
low and away 2-0. Nice.
I'm watching.
Judge.
Yeah, I'm
They're
definitely
not going to give him a strike.
If I'm the manager, I'm going to give him 2 more and let him walk because
Actually, if you look at game day, you'll be surprised.
Oh.
2-0, upstairs 3-0.
I will be surprised.
3-0 count on Judge. Do you give him the green light here?
Yeah.
The 3-0. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, count 3-1. So they are going to pitch to him here.
They are pitching to him.
They're using the corners. They're obviously
they're going. They're
smart.
Outside, inside,
Alexander's
low.
not giving him one over the plate yet. 3-1. That should have been ball 4, but instead it's strike 2 on the low pitch because they still can't figure out what a strike is.
They don't know how to.
Incoming Vinny rant. Incoming Vinny rant.
They seriously don't know how to umpire this guy. I'm sorry.
No, they don't.
I mean, why is that not a strike to Ellie De La Cruz? He's just as tall as he is.
3-2 pitch.
Oh my God.
Alexander sets and deals. But that's a ball. Okay. Yeah. That was in the zone.
Oh my goodness. That was on the corner. That was
clearly a strike.
That was a strike.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny. I can't even be mad at that.
Call the one that's outside. I mean, he would have walked either way.
So they're showing some major league news. Shohei throwing his first bullpen since February 25th. Could pitch in May. Jose Ramirez hurt, mild sprained wrist, and Eugenio Suarez for the D-backs. 4 home runs over the weekend against the Cubs. Wow. Here's Chisholm, home run earlier. That's somehow a ball. Count 1-0. Hit that 2-run home run in the third.
They're squeezing this guy. I'm sorry, but they're squeezing this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, they called that one strike.
Well, give credit to him. He's definitely eaten up some innings, which is what they've needed.
Yeah. Well,
1-0.
Jazz can do.
Right down the middle. Looks at it. Strike 1.
Oof. How do you look at that?
Might have been a case of take until you get a strike right there.
Yeah, maybe. But with this umpire, I wouldn't be taking pitches down the middle.
Calls time to show off the torpedo bat as he clears his eyes out. I like them Jordans, by the way, that he has on.
He's always like pretty flashy, Jazz.
Yes, he is.
Pretty,
1-1 pitch. Chisholm. Grounds this one and threw for a base hit past the second baseman into right. Judge will hold it second. And the Yankees have 2 on with nobody out.
There we go. Got a little rally.
So here you go. Yes Network is showing the rule for this bat. As long as it's not more than 2.61 inches in diameter and no
At
more
the
than
thickest
42
part.
inches in length, the bat is, and it's one piece of solid wood, there's nothing wrong. Thank you, Yes Network.
The note is the thing that gets everybody,
this.
but the note is the thing that has everybody in the experimental part of it.
But it's really not experimental, though, because it's within the rules.
Yep.
Here's a pitch to Volpe, in for a strike. Volpe, actually, for me, I hit a walk-off home run with him yesterday, so I'd like to see him do it again here.
Good old MLB show.
Both my games, Vinny, that I've played in franchise against the Brewers, both games went 12 innings because I turned off that stupid extra inning rule. That's there for a ball count, 1-1.
Yeah, you could turn off warming up pitchers too if you want, but I know I know you want the realism.
If you want the realistic feeling, yeah, but it does get tedious when you're 14 innings into a game.
Well, and it used to drive a lot of the online players crazy too to have to perform. And it didn't even work. You could still bring out the pitcher. You could still bring in a pitcher and not worry about it. That was a good pitch.
Alexander's could be this could be his 45th pitch.
Mm-hmm.
This is his 3rd inning of work. The 1-2, way outside. Excuse me, count 2-2. Sorry, I'm like very congested right now. I apologize.
You were sick, weren't you?
I was. It just kind of came out of nowhere, though. So, 2-2 pitch. Tyler Alexander looks at the runner and deals. Fouled away. Do it again at 2-2. 2 on. 2-2 count with nobody out. Yankees looking to extend this 5-3 lead. Right now, we're in a situation where we may actually get to see the airbender if they cannot extend this lead later in this one. 2-2. Volpe hits a high fly ball in the deep center. Plenty of room in front of the track, makes the catch. Judge will advance to 3rd, and Chisholm advances to 2nd. Nice base running there by the two of them.
Yeah, Chisholm's fast. He definitely good.
Judge
good
definitely is not fast, judging by the way he's running there.
Good base running though, definitely. That was hit to the deepest part of the park. So
they're showing the home run chart from the last 2 games. This looks like something out of the home run derby.
Yeah, I know. It's
Actually, that's pretty cool graphics. So you actually look and see the streets of the Bronx right beyond the stadium. As we're going to get a pitching change.
Here comes
Koenig is coming in to pitch for the Brewers.
He pitched yesterday.
Yes, he did. So
Brewers bullpen getting a workout.
Yeah, not in a good way.
No, a lot early in the season. I'm just,
So we remain in the bottom of the 6th, 2 on, 1 out. Both are in scoring position. The Yankees holding on to a 5-3 lead, looking to extend that lead. As I check social media, it's just, so the Twins have just decided to use the torpedo bat today.
There you go. See?
That's all you had to do.
All you had to do. So now you're gonna have the Twins in the controversy, right? No, because they're the Twins.
Yeah.
So
the Reds fans were getting into Robbie Ray's head, and they're taking credit for the broken up perfect game because they were doing a countdown of the pitch clock every time, and he lost his all control.
Giants took the lead in that game, by the way, 4-3.
Well, they were up 4-3.
Oh, I mean, sorry, they're up 4-3 in that game. Sorry.
So they are taking credit for it, which is fine because I'm okay with not being the GM.
Cardinals are killing the Twins right now.
Yeah, so much for the torpedo bat in Minnesota. So I guess we're gonna have to live with the cheating allegations.
Yeah, I guess so.
Nationals up 5-0 over Philly. Aaron Nola, not a good start today.
Is Jacob deGrom back? 3 1/3. No runs, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, and a walk.
He is until he blows out his arm again.
We'll see.
Hate to say it. So once again, they show every home run that has happened so far this weekend. On the S Network, they got to work on that NY logo. It looks a little faded. So as Austin Wells comes up to hit.
Yeah, could use a repaint for sure.
I'm wondering if it rained overnight. Here's Jared Koenig, 55 games, 9-4 record, 2.47 ERA in 62 innings last year. Only gave up 4 home runs. So a good matchup for the Brewers here as that's in for a strike.
I'd like to see Wells do instead of being like, because it's kind of been an inconsistent
start
hitter
as
far as like good game.
0-1. Way outside. This one's got a chance to score. Judge coming to the plate. He will score. And the Yankees take a 6-3 lead.
There we go. Chisholm to third, 1 out.
Wild pitch there. And the Yankees extend their lead to 3, and a sac fly extends the lead to 7. Excuse me.
Milwaukee shooting themselves in the foot here.
Can't have mistakes like that.
And Contreras, what is he doing with his glove that way, by the way?
He went to the Gary Sanchez school of how to catch.
Well, no, but Contreras is a way better catcher.
And line drive to first. Chisholm scores on the ground out. It is 7-3 Yankees.
That was a
nice play by the first baseman.
That wasn't Reese, was it? That was.
No, they gave him the day off.
Yeah, let me find out who that was.
They had the infield in too, but because he had to dive for it, there was no way of getting him out.
It was Jake Bowers.
That was Jake Bowers. So 7-3 Yanks. That pitch way inside. Once again, Contreras could not keep it in front of him.
Contreras.
As Dominguez is up to hit.
Contreras is a good catcher. I don't get why.
Chisholm showing off the speed there.
Yeah, he was going.
He
looked like he was going on
contact.
Yeah, it looked like he was going on contact.
Dominguez, big swing and a miss. Never forget when Dominguez first started, his first Yankee Stadium home run against these Brewers.
I'd like to see him, I
want to see him get at least a base hit. I think he's trying to do too much. Once again, a big swing and a miss. Count 1 and 2.
Jeez.
As Mark Leiter Jr. is warming up in the pen.
Oh.
We looked good the other day.
We go from Tim Hill to Mark Leiter, who throws like 80-something.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That is strike 3. That will end the inning. But we go to the top of the 7th. Yankees now lead this one 7-3 as Mark Leiter Jr. to come in.
He swung at 3 strikes at least.
So let's do another out-of-town scoreboard while we're under break. Vinny, would you like to take this one, or you still want to
I could do that because ESPN is up on their stuff.
I did the
first. Yes, the Yankees are up on the Brewers 7-3, as you know. The Nationals have taken a 5-0 lead over the Phillies. The Blue Jays are up on the Orioles 2-1, bottom of the 6th. Bottom 6, Rays lead the Rockies 6-2. Bottom 7, Pirates lead the Marlins 2-1. Top of the 8th, as we've been keeping track of this game, the Giants lead the Reds 4-3. In the bottom of the 6th, do I have to say this one? The Angels and the White Sox are tied at 2. And the top of the 5th, the Guardians lead the Royals 1-0. Top of the 4th, as we said, the Cardinals lead the Twins 8-1. And Jacob deGrom and the Rangers lead the Red Sox 1-0.
We like that.
And the game's coming later. Chicago at the Diamondbacks, the A's at the Mariners at 4:10, and your Sunday night game, the Braves and the Padres at 7:00.
Yeah, Padres going for a 4-game sweep in that one. Definitely not the start Atlanta was looking for. I spoke very highly of them too, but that's a pretty weak late game schedule. Just 3 games, 2 in the afternoon. But I know the Dodgers and the Tigers finished their series yesterday. Astros and Mets finished their series yesterday. So
I will be watching Brian Wu pitch today at 4:00.
I'll be watching my cars going in circles, if you're wondering. So
there you go.
As you guys like
left turns all day.
Actually, that should have already started by now. If it's not raining, that rain I know was supposed to hit that race. So
Gotham Sports.
Yeah, scam and a half.
Yeah, they need to do something about that app because
I hear it sucks. Oh yeah, the race did start. Okay. Yeah, I hear no. Okay, so Bellinger moved to left, which means Grisham's probably in center. Yep. I'm not crazy about this because you know what, Dominguez can't get better if you're not going to let him play.
yeah, you need to let him play in late innings. I think those two things that he did out there, I think that kind of spooked Boone a little bit.
Yeah, again, still I'm not. So Garrett
And
Mitchell's up to hit.
that last strikeout
Okay.
didn't help him either. Swinging at 3 strikes that
Well, he was
he didn't even
swinging for the
touch.
fences. You could
He didn't
see
even
it.
touch any of those pitches.
It'll be an 0-1, lighter deals. Fouled away. Bottom of the order is up for the Brewers, 7-8-9. Garrett Mitchell 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a line out.
Ooh, lighter.
Solid hitter, though. 255 he hit last year.
Mitchell's a good young
9
player,
games.
though. He can run, too.
Yes, like most of this team.
Definitely run, yeah.
It'll be an 0-2.
He was their,
Blown away.
I believe, was their top prospect at one point.
So it'll be a 1-2. Leiter gets the pitch, sets and deals the 1-2. Low in the dirt on the 58-foot splitter right there.
Wow, that was crazy. That was nuts.
So Jason Dominguez walking around the dugout. He's just got to dye his hair blonde, and he's literally an exact replica. 2-2 pitch. Mm-hmm. Inside count, full 3-2. Leiter last year struck me as the type of guy who he always gets himself into trouble, but somehow finds a way out of trouble. I hope he can get away from that this year. But he always showed up when they put him in a tough situation, so I really can't complain too much.
Yeah.
3-2.
If you remember, he was horrible when he was with the Cubs.
Caught looking strike 3 on the pitch low.
Ooh, that was low too.
First strike, 1 out in the inning.
Still not a strike, no matter who that was for.
No.
But, I mean,
doesn't excuse that they do it to Judge, but
I guess, I don't know, man. I don't know how you call that a strike. That's under the knee?
Yeah, that wasn't
close.
So Joey Ortiz up the bat. First pitch just missed. Okay, we're starting to lose some of that consistency.
Yeah, I know.
That's 1-0 count. Ortiz 0 for 2 on the day.
I would make a rule. If I see you move the glove, I'm not calling a strike.
That would
ruin framing for everybody.
Yeah, that would upset a lot of people as Ortiz flies out for out number 2. That's one skill that they teach you.
I would totally take
Little League as a catcher.
That's one of the parts of the game that I hate. Actually, I don't.
Actually, you know what's funny was when I was like catcher in Little League, I got yelled at by an umpire for it, and coach,
I did too. My coach
looked at me. He's like, "Well, you're not really supposed to do it, but you're doing a good job." So
yeah, you're not. When I was little too, we weren't allowed to.
Well, my coach didn't care. Like it was something they didn't teach me how to do it. I just kind of tried doing it.
But you got to remember when I did it, it was like the 80s.
I was done up to hit
the mid 80s.
Yeah, for me, I was 2014. I was doing.
And they hadn't heard of framing.
Yeah. So 0-1 pitch, lighter deals, low 1-1.
And not that I want to be the guy to get off my lawn guy, but. The framing part of it I don't like that part of it.
Well, that's the problem. That's where the human element comes into play. Like, you're taught to do that because you know how umpires can be. That's low.
Oh, that's why we need AB. That's why we need.
That's ABS. What I think. I think we need the ABS system. You still get the human element, but you get some help.
And you can take. And that's why Boone. I think that's why Boone said he doesn't like.
I think ABS. But you know what's funny is the umpires despise it.
Well, yeah,
because they finally got exposed as to how bad they actually are.
Yeah, because they're horrible. That was a good pitch and a strike.
2-2 just off the. Yeah, but that's the thing. He's been inconsistent there over the last 2 innings on those borderline calls, but 2-2 count. One strike away from sending it to the bottom of the seventh.
Yep.
Yankees looking for a 3-game sweep. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 4, and that will be a walk for Oliver. Wait.
That was ball 3. Ball 3.
Okay, so all right, so the scoreboard's messed up because it said 3-2.
Yeah. Well, it's 3. Yeah, it's 3-2.
Now it's 3-2. Okay. Yes, get your shit together. You already had a spring training. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3.
So Mark Leiter Jr.
Wow. In the Bronx, Yankees with a 7-3 lead.
I think we have, I don't want to speak too soon, but it looks like we have a competent bullpen.
So far. So far.
And it's this, are we 7th inning stretch?
Yes, it is.
7th inning stretch time at the stadium.
I always like how they did their 7th inning stretch with, they do the salute to the military. I think all teams should do this. I don't know why they don't.
Well,
I know it's a Yankee tradition, but that's a tradition I think the rest of baseball should adopt.
Yeah.
Today's featured military man, the veteran of the game, as they call it, will be a Korean War veteran. Thank you for your service. They're not showing his name for some reason. I feel bad now. Yeah. He's got the old school jersey, too, with the old Yankee logo.
Mm-hmm. The old Nike. I mean, that's a pretty old Nike logo, too, with the Nike's name.
I like it. Like I said, they never showed his name, but we thank him for his service anyway.
Yeah. God bless America.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait to get back to the Bronx. Right now, a good chicken bucket sounds nice.
A good chicken bucket.
That's literally the only thing I'll ever get at the stadium. Like, I know they have, like, all these crazy food options, like tiramisu.
Oh, I like to try it all.
Me? Me? Give me my chicken bucket. I'm happy.
Yeah, I like to try it all. Pretty good about it.
To me, if I want to try food, I would go out to the city. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You got there's good stuff at the ballpark. I mean, it's expensive.
I know there is. I mean, the last game me and my dad got to go to together, he tried a steak sandwich, which he said, he said they overdid it on the pepper a little bit, but he said was very good.
Yeah.
I think my dad, he was impressed that he was a butcher, and he actually saw they have like a real butcher shop in there. I think he actually took a good appreciation.
I mean, it's the only reason I want to go to Citi Field is for the food.
For the food? Like I said, I'm going for a baseball game. I'm not trying to go for...
Well, if I'm going to a Met game, I'm not really going.
Well, that's different. And honestly, we may hit up Citi Field this year. You and I were talking about possibly seeing them play.
Never been.
No, me neither. And I've been saying for years I want to go for the Subway Series. It's not a cheap ticket, especially this year.
It's not a cheap ticket. It's a tough ticket to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, with the hype behind the Subway Series this year, I don't see how anybody gets a ticket that's under $250.
Yeah, exactly.
And plus, it's 4th of July weekend. Don't forget, too, that they're playing
that series is going to be crazy.
That's going to be both series will be crazy. I mean, the first series, MLB's brought back their rivalry weekend, if you will. They got all the geographical rivals playing each other, like Pirates, Phillies, Dodgers, Angels, Yankees, Mets, whatever. So that's going to be a big weekend on the baseball calendar. Plus, it's same week as Memorial Day, so you'll have that. And then, of course, Yankees, Mets the second time around, 4th of July weekend. They gave that those matchups a good spotlight. So
there you go. All right.
We'll look for. I mean, we got a lot of baseball to go. We don't care who we play as long as we win.
It's a lot.
And when we don't, we riot. That's all.
It's a lot of baseball to go, man. A lot of baseball.
It's only game 3. We still got 159 more to go.
We haven't even hit the dog days yet.
We haven't hit April yet.
Yeah. So once you hit the dog days, then you're pretty much halfway through.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. That's usually right before the All-Star break. You usually got about 100 games in before the All-Star break, which is in Atlanta this year, the All-Star game. I hope next year, I'm trying to see if money's good. Next year, I want to go. The All-Star game's in Philly.
Oh, there we go.
So me and the Twins were talking about it as Joel Payamps
Joel
comes
Payamps.
in the pitch. I want to go to the All-Star game. I don't even really want to go to the All-Star game. It's more the home run derby I want to go to.
Yeah. It's an event.
Ben Rice swings and misses. I had a chance a couple years ago to go to the AAA All-Star game because it was in Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Then COVID happened.
Oh, there you go.
Me and my dad, we were literally saying we weren't even going to go to the game. We just wanted to go to the home run derby. That's in there for a strike count. 0-2 on Rice, who has that home run earlier today. And Scranton Wilkes-Barre never got it back. So, actually, I don't even think they do the AAA All-Star game anymore. I think they stopped because there's such an imbalance. There's 20 teams in the International League and just 10 in the Pacific Coast League. So,
there we go.
Kind of hard to make a All-Star game out of that. But 1-2 count on Ben Rice in the bottom of the seventh. The Yankees up 7-3. Here's the pitch. Rice lines this one through for a base hit in the right field. Nice hit there for Ben Rice off a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
They're not fooling him by throwing him inside. By the way, he's been taking that inside pitch and just kind of pulling it.
It's that number 22.
Yeah,
brought him some good luck so far.
I think they need to change their strategy against Ben Rice here.
The only thing is
right
that's
there,
the last time they're going to see him, unless
got the bat right.
Milwaukee comes back.
Yeah.
So Cabrera comes up to hit.
I'd like to see Oswaldo get into one. There's an inside pitch.
Here's the pitch to Cabrera. Line drive into right field. That's a base hit. This one down the line. Cut off by the right fielder. Rice is on his way to third. He will hold. And the Yankees have a runner in scoring position with nobody out in the bottom of the seventh.
Bottom of the order coming through. Look at this. We go to the top of the order. Nice.
Now the question is where the Yankees add to their lead or not? Do we still see Devin Williams? I would have to say no.
If it's a big lead, I don't think we.
I don't think you do it either.
Matter of fact, with a 7-3,
I keep saying if we're in blowout situation and we have a position play, I want to see Judge pitch just to shut up all commentators. If Judge were to pitch a 1-2-3, I would go crazy.
The inside pitch, the Yankees are turning on those inside pitches, so I don't know.
Low count.
I don't know where the scouting reports are coming from.
Which is weird because the whole game they were attacking outside. Now all of a sudden, Payamps comes in.
That's where they should be attacking us.
Yes.
Outside. So
1-0 count on Paul Goldschmidt. Here's the pitch. In for a strike. That was inside. Count 1-1.
Come on, Goldie.
Goldschmidt hit a single in the first. Eventually would come around to score. He's been off to a solid start this season. Had that leadoff home run yesterday. 1-1 pitch. Here we go. Swung on and missed. Count 1-2. Big hack at that one. So count 1-2. On deck is Bellinger. Fernando Cruz warming up in the pen. I don't think we've seen him yet, have we? Vinny?
What was that?
Have we seen Fernando Cruz yet? Goldschmidt in the center field. That's going to be a base hit. One run will score. And the Yankees extend their lead to 8-3.
There's an inside pitch. He just
third is Cabrera.
He fought off that inside pitch. Look at that.
And the Yankees extend their lead to 5. What I was asking was, have we seen Fernando Cruz yet? I don't think we have.
Think we have yet.
Only in spring training.
Yeah. Nice job.
Update in AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. The Everson Pereira walks in a run. They had the bases loaded. Scranton Wilkes-Barre leads 5-3 in the top of the 8th.
That was a beautiful swing. He got his hands in,
tied up, and still got a hit out of it. So Cody Bellinger comes up, looking to blow this one open.
See what Belly can do.
And showing off the don't take slow for an answer play of the game by Optimum. That's funny because Optimum runs like you know what. Ask Alex and Luca. But Bellinger with that nice play back earlier in this one. That's funny. I'm sure if Alex and Luca are watching that, they're going to get a laugh at it because they had Optimum. They said it was the worst thing they have ever used.
Yeah.
So here comes Bellinger with an 8-3 lead. Here's the pitch. outside. Count 1-0. Big spot here for the Yankees. Looking to blow it open. Game has already somewhat become out of reach for Milwaukee. Yankees looking to finish it off. Here's the pitch. That's pop foul. Yankees looking for a sweep. Brewers looking to salvage one game in this 3-game set in the Bronx before they head home to take on the Royals tomorrow. And then the Yankees will be halfway home in their first homestand of the year before they take on the D-backs Tuesday. Here's the pitch. Fouled off again, 1-2. He's just late on these.
Yeah, Bellinger. These
95 on
are
that
pitches he
fastball.
can hit too.
I think he was expecting off speed. That's the only thing I could think. Judge on deck. If he gets on and Judge gets a chance.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Here's the pitch outside, 2-2. 2 grand slams, 2 days. Has that happened before? I'm sure it has, but can't be very often. 2-2 pitch. Payamp steals to Cody Bellinger. That's hit in the air, deep to center, but playable. Back on the track. Makes a catch on the track. That is a sac fly. And the Yankees take a 9-3 lead. You know, Vinny, I was worried about today.
Yeah.
That I didn't know what to expect.
That's probably because we had Stroman. But the Yankees are just.
But I didn't expect the offense to look
good. The offense is just 29 runs in 2 days. I mean,
33 in the whole
33
series.
in the series. So
can't really ask for much more.
I mean, they can't really. I mean, I know there's a guy on first and only 1 out, but
here's the pitch in for a strike. That was a little low, but
ugh.
Yeah, I agree.
What is he going to do with that? I mean,
Judge has scored 3 times, but he's walked twice. Also has that home run. The 0-1 to Judge. Fouled off.
You pretty much got to throw it somewhere out of the strike zone and pray that the umpire calls it a strike. At this point, because he seems like Judge is definitely locked in right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's
on
talk about going from your bad spring to this.
He's on a redemption tour. Tough spring, tough end of the season last year. Judge wants to prove a lot of people wrong this year.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you?
Oh, I would. 1-2 pitch. Low, 2-2. It was in the dirt, but somehow with Judge, that's a strike, but not this time.
Wow. No, if they would have called that a strike, that would have been.
Vinny might have left the stream.
I would have just been.
Would have left the stream and
I would have been beside.
I'd be wondering why his TV landed in my backyard.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch. Low,
throwing my TV to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to give him anything over the plate. Everything's been low.
I think they're gonna walk him here.
And basically, well, if you have
3-2 pitch.
If you have game day, you know what's gonna happen.
And again, it's another walk. There's hat trick, 3rd walk of the day.
See, he's just going low, praying that he gets that call.
You know what sucks though is I have a feeling it's gonna be like this all season because you know what, last year
it is.
You had to choose between Soto.
But he can't get like he did last year where he would start swinging out of his
shoes.
He'd go out of it, but he'd go out of the strike zone.
But if Chisholm could keep playing like this, then they may not have no choice but to pitch to him. 2 for 3, home run on the day, grounded foul. If Chisholm could keep this up, then that will cause issues.
And he doesn't need to hit home runs. He just needs to get base hits.
Base hits.
Because guys are on
He is the cleanup hitter.
And with his speed, he can still, even a single turns into a double with him probably.
Yeah. So. Pitch inside. And you know what? That makes for an interesting scenario where if by some miracle we see Stanton, it makes you wonder, where do you keep Chisholm in this spot? Do you drop Stanton in the lineup?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's an interesting scenario. If Chisholm could live up to the hype,
I think you'd have to keep him where he's at if he's hot, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't see how you move him.
And then kind of, wait and see with Stanton,
Yeah, I mean, he started swinging a bat Thursday or Friday, so.
Well, that's a good thing.
Right now, it sounds like post All-Star break, but I have a feeling They're
I'm
gonna.
not really
I say best
relying
case
on.
scenario is they save him for the playoffs. That's
Yeah,
it.
I'm not really relying on any of that stuff.
No, we keep playing like this. We won't have to pitch out.
Yeah,
Count
exactly.
2-2.
We'll see. We'll see.
We will see.
Like I
We
said,
are rooting.
game
We are
3.
rooting for him to come back as soon as possible.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
Well, we'll see what happens.
2-2 pitch to Chisholm outside 3-2. Still only one out in the inning. Yankees got runners on first and second. They have blown it open at 9-3.
Yeah. Jazz looking for his pitch.
3-2 pitch.
First pitch
Is launched in the air to right field. Fair ball, it's gone. It is gone.
Oh
a
my
3-run
goodness.
home run for Jazz Chisholm.
Jazz Chisholm.
His second of the day. And the Yankees take a 12-3 lead.
Way to
Look
go.
out,
This is the
Citi Field.
Jazz.
That is a missile off the bat of Chaz Chisholm. His third of the season. 342, 99-6 off the bat. And it is officially a blowout.
This is the Jazz we saw in Florida.
Yes.
Miami. This is, and I think he's more excited
I
again.
think this is better.
Yeah, but he's excited again. He's excited to play baseball.
He's got something to play
you
for.
can tell
past March
he
30th.
loves the teammates love him. You see how the guys love
He
him?
reminds me, he reminds me of Didi and Swisher.
And he's got that, but he's got that swag about him. He doesn't
That's what
care
I'm saying.
People,
as Volpe fouls. He, like I said, he reminds me so much of Didi and Nick Swisher in one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and here it's the torpedo bat.
The torpedo
controversy.
Bat. There you go. And he did hit it off the torpedo.
I love it. 32 runs in 2 days. That's
wow.
Okay, Vinny, I got to ask a stupid question.
Yeah.
Does this top last year's opening day, the 4-game sweep over Houston?
Oh yeah.
I look, because it's Houston. That's
I mean, yeah, the Houston thing. It's Houston, but
this is like. But see, what like I said, the downside is they got the off day tomorrow. How do you carry this momentum? You just gotta.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know, that's where the pitching's gonna have to really.
Savant calling that 340.
Look at the guy up there holding his kid up to see that. Oh, that's awesome. I love.
I mean, it says that would have been gone in 13 parks.
342, really? Only 13?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Interesting. But you know what's funny is I think they said that's deeper than the first one. Didn't the first one say 346?
But they said that Bellinger's 395 wouldn't have been out in any parks.
I'm starting to lose my trust in Savant. Is that
I don't know about I think Savant is having some issues.
Yeah, I'm starting to think the same thing.
Because 395, I mean, there's parks that are shorter than 395. They said
the first home run was 346, but this was 342. The first home run was two rows in. That one was almost second deck.
I know. But they're not giving the actual ballparks now. I think there's something wrong with it.
Yeah. Well, we're officially in blowout territory. I think this is officially turned into our spring training.
This is a Brewers team that made the playoffs last year. I know it's only game 3 of the season, and I know they'll probably right the ship, but I mean, what do you take from this if you're them?
Well, and it's only going to get tougher because, again, they get Kansas City at home for 3, so you know what? It could be a case of, Vinny, you know what happens is a lot of times this early in the season, some of the best teams are not, they get off to slow starts. It happens, If you remember last year, Yankees started out slow.
Yep.
And that pitch way up and in on Volpe. I know the Bronx faithful are not going to like that one.
Yeah.
I think it just got away. I don't see why they would throw up and in at him.
They won't.
Down 12-3, other than they're upset about the bats, which he's got, by the way, Volpe.
Yeah, he does. Well, when your manager comes out and says there's nothing wrong with it, there shouldn't be an effect.
Shouldn't be, but clearly some of his bullpen does not see it that way.
Yeah, well,
32 pitches, and he's only got 1 out so far. I'm surprised that. So 36 runs in the first 3 games of a season. That's a Yankee record, 3rd most in Major League history. That pitch check swing did not go. Volpe works a walk.
Ooh.
Yankees just need the. Oh no, they rung him up. The first baseman said, "No, you're wrong."
Wow.
Oh, I don't know that I've ever seen that before.
Well, that's crazy.
I didn't see them call for the appeal though.
No.
I don't think that's a swing.
That was close.
See, that's where that torpedo bat works as your disadvantage. Check swings are going to be that much harder.
Yeah,
But
well, yeah,
I don't think that's
you
a
got a bigger,
swing.
wider barrel, so
I don't.
or a
I don't.
wider bat.
And now they take out Pamps. They bring in Trevor McGill, who, as we mentioned earlier, took issue to the new bats.
Yeah.
See how this goes.
Trevor McGill, was he an ex-Met?
No, you're thinking of somebody else.
Tyler?
Yeah, Tyler's still with them. I forgot to update
Tyler.
the scoreboard.
Yeah, let's see what's going on in MLB.
Yeah, it feels like it's been so long since we checked the out-of-town scoreboard. It looks like most of the scores are still relative. Oh, the White Sox game's in a rain delay, so they're going to drag that one out.
Oh, boy. That's just what we
We
need.
do have. Okay, so the Cardinals game is also in a rain delay. That game's still in the top bottom of the fifth.
The Twins scored another run. They're delayed too.
Yeah, so that game's not official yet. They have to finish that one today because Minnesota don't go back to St. Louis the rest of the year.
The Guardians picked up some runs.
Angels, White Sox. That's game. It is in the bottom of the seventh, but because it's a tied game, unless MLB declares a tie, that one's not close yet.
So I guess they're being really safe with DeGrom. They took him out.
Well, he didn't really do much in the spring. I don't think he pitch.
He pitched 5. He struck out 6. He walked 2 and gave up only 2 hits. He did do. He did have.
Pitch count,
he had 73 pitches through 5.
That's why. That's got to be.
So I must have labored a little bit.
Blue Jays are also up 3-1 on Baltimore. If they win today, that would.
It's not like that lineup's actually doing very well. Their top 1, 2, 3, 4. Their top 4 guys are 0 for 11 in that game right now. Oh, sorry.
You know what we should do? Vinny, I have an idea. Now, I know this is primarily a Yankees channel when it comes to baseball. We should do a one-day stream from first pitch to last pitch. Like, go on at 1, and we do like a red zone style commentary on everything and take it all the way up to the Sunday night game. Would you be down for this endurance challenge?
That's a long stretch.
That is a long stretch.
I'd have to think about that. Sounds good.
Trevor McGill is in. Had a good season last year, 2.72 ERA.
Did you ever think Rafael Devers wouldn't have a hit through 3 games?
Yeah, they said he broke a strikeout record.
He struck out again today, by the way.
Yeah, that's
so. I think this thing about being a DH is kind of wearing on him a little bit.
Yeah, well, he talked a lot of smack about it, so
I think they may need to move him back to third.
It might. So Austin Wells will come up to hit.
I mean, not that I'm cheering for a Red Sox,
we're happy about it, but
yeah. And the more problems with the Red Sox, the better.
Yes, I agree.
As far as I'm concerned.
When it comes to locker room drama, yes. First pitch 98.
This guy's a weird. He kind of. You see how he falls off to like backwards to first base a little bit?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. I don't know how anybody could pitch like that.
No, I don't know either. See, my stupid ass would fall.
He's like, whoa. Like it looks like he's in a rocking chair a little bit.
I would fall after trying that once.
Yeah, man. I think that's the way he gets like, a little bit of power in his pitches because he's so weird.
1-1 pitch, inside 2-1. I'm surprised they brought him in this spot. You're down 12-3. I mean, then again, they've used up that bullpen a lot the last 2 days.
Look at this. Backwards lean. It's more pronounced from the back.
Yeah.
Than from that angle that they just showed.
2-1 pitch. High fly ball in the center. And Mitchell will make the catch for the final out. So they finally end this inning, but not before the Yankees and Jazz Chisholm make this a 12-3 game. They're just a point away from the extra point to make this a...
You think Milwaukee wants to get out of the Bronx?
Yeah, I think so. They might have nightmares when they come back to play the Mets in a few months.
They've seen enough of Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I think so too. So top of the 8th, Yankees up 12-3. Yeah, I wonder now with their home opener being in 22 hours, I wonder how Brewers fans are going to feel.
Well, there was going to be a little sadness because they lost Bob Euchre. They're going to have probably a tribute to
the Yankees did a nice tribute for
him. They're going to have a tribute to
Miller Gardner. They did.
I loved Bob Euchre. I loved Bob Euchre.
I will say,
he was
also
one of the good ones in baseball.
Rest in peace, Miller Gardner. That was tragic. That was
14
sad.
years old.
Actually, I don't know if you saw Vinny. He got included in the roll call the other day.
That's awesome.
So,
Awesome.
good. And then Aaron Judge did the traditional Brett Gardner response to the roll
Mhm.
call with the flex. So,
Yeah.
rest in peace. Feel
Yeah.
bad for the Gardner family.
Yeah. And they're pretty private family too. He
Yeah,
doesn't.
well,
He hasn't been. He hasn't been in the
and I
spotlight. He
noticed
hasn't
Joe
been
Girardi
at all.
in the opening game that was on ESPN. He talked about like Gardner was
Yeah.
really like Brett Gardner's a big
Yeah.
family man. So
Yeah.
that's unfortunately that's one of the risks of traveling to another country. Everything is so much different. They said the
Mhm.
whole family got sick. It's just this poor kid.
Yeah. He got the worst of it.
He got the worst of it. So rest in peace, Miller Gardner.
Yep. And the Uke.
Yes, and I know that, like you said, they'll do something nice for him tomorrow.
Yep. Yep. Good old Uke.
I watched some of that game. There's a lot of home openers tomorrow. Royals, Brewers, Red Sox, Orioles, right? Rockies, Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
We got a couple of them tomorrow.
Yep. Yep.
This is the weird part about the first week or so with these home openers. They always schedule them during the daytime. So if you're like, if you're union or if you work during the day, well, that's pain in the neck.
So I won't expect.
In.
I won't expect this offensive output against the D-backs and their pitching staff.
It's going to be tough, especially going up against Corbin Burns on Tuesday.
That pitching staff's good. Now, if you get to the bullpen, you might have a shot, but we'll see.
Bryce Terang up the hit, 1 for 3.
We'll preview that series, though.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to do a little post-game show after. We'll preview the D-back series a little more in depth. Just because me and Vinny, we do have a bit of a doubleheader today. We are also doing we're going to be recording for WWE stuff later, so we're going to keep it all within this one stream. So stay tuned. We'll do a little post-game. We'll preview the D-back series. As that's upstairs, that's ball 4 pitch walk for Cruz. Cruz had it rough last year with the Reds. Had a 5, almost a 6 ERA, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So up to bat now will be Jackson Churio, 1 for 3. Brewers have 5 hits on the day, but most of that came early. They'll count 1-0 on Churio. It'll be a 1-0 pitch. Cruz deals. He hasn't thrown a strike yet. 2-0.
Yeah, at this point, you're just waiting for a strike.
Yeah, and Chisholm in the infield. Chisholm and Cabrera and Wells will sit and have a conversation with, not sit, but have a conversation with him, try to straighten him out. Obviously, there's got to be some jitters playing first game with the Yankees.
Yeah, exactly.
So 2-0 count on Jackson Churio. Churio, you got to admit, has aside from the way the team is performing, he had a nice bounce back yesterday and today after that 0 for 5 strikeouts. What do you call that? After you got the golden sombrero, what is it when you strike out 5 times? Do we have a term for that?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. It doesn't happen very often.
By the way, they were showing the torpedo on Yes, that he hit it right dead
in
center.
there for a strike. There's his first. Count 2-1.
That little talk just kind of helped him out.
Relax him a little bit. It's up 12-3, so he's.
It's funny how they have the build submarines thing on the behind the thing, and we have the torpedo bats.
So, John Boy just tweeted this out after this pitch. I'll read this to you.
He's usually good at studying stuff like this.
So in the last 5 games, the Yankees have played the Brewers. Now they're up 12-3 right now. 120-9 yesterday. 1-4-2 Thursday. Last year, in their last 2 games against Milwaukee, beat them 15-5 and 15-3.
Okay, and we didn't have torpedo bats then.
Yeah. So is it safe to say we own Milwaukee?
I mean, you could. We don't play them.
Swung on and missed an ugly strike 3 swing for out number 1.
Oh, Jackson! Wow, that was ugly. I mean, you could say that, but we don't play them enough. Like,
once a year, but
I mean, it's not like Minnesota where we,
twice a year.
we own them and the playoffs too. I mean, though even those good Minnesota teams we beat.
Okay, so FanDuel has officially put out, should the torpedo bat be banned by MLB? Here we go.
Okay. There we go.
Let the BS begin.
I told you this was going to get huge.
Oh, I knew it from the start. Is that's a high fly ball in the infield, likely.
It's because we scored. If we
fly.
didn't score 20 runs yesterday, it wouldn't have
but
been.
But the Twins are using the torpedo bat.
I know the Twins are using them. Yeah, the Twins are using them. But if we didn't score 20 runs in 12 today, it wouldn't have been a big
deal.
Yeah.
Now, if they do this again against the D-backs,
yeah, I know.
Then I think you're gonna hear a lot about it.
And the D-backs got some good hitters. I'm looking at their stats right now. They're having quite the season, and Eugenio Suarez is he's on fire.
They get going in about 5 minutes, but they are 1-2 up to this point.
Yeah, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs, 500 on base percentage for Eugenio.
1-0 pitch to Contreras.
And if you remember, Eugenio, when he was with the Mariners, went through that streak where he could not hit the side of a barn.
We have our first final of the day. The Giants defeat the Reds by a score of 6-3. Giants win that series 2 out of 3.
Robbie Ray gets the win.
But leaves with a 5.06 ERA.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a cut on and missed.
Nice strike, nice pitch there. Yeah, see, something to be said about.
We got something interesting going on in DC. Nats are still up 5-0, but the Phillies have the bases loaded and nobody out.
Ooh.
2-1 pitch, fouled off. Pirates Marlins are tied 2-2, top of the ninth. Marlins, both their wins came off of walk-offs, by the way.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens with them too. They're
like we said, still those 2 games.
I just want
rain delay.
There's one guy I want on that team to come here, because if we don't get him, someone else is going to get him, and it may be in our division.
That's a high fly ball in the deep left. Bellinger backs up to make the grab to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees lead 12-3.
Yeah, we
get a position player to pitch.
Yeah,
I want to see it. I don't even know why. I
think Alcantara is going to be wanted by a lot of teams.
Yeah, I know a lot of
Yankees fans. And there's one team in our division that wants him too. So
yes,
and
the Guardians look like they could take the series from the Royals in an upset. They're up 5-0, bottom 6.
There you go.
Those West Coast games get started 3 minutes from now. It's 4:07 here on the East Coast. So a lot of good games actually going on around the league. So every game is either a close one, minus that Cardinals-Twins game, or teams are within striking range, like the Phillies. So I'm going to be watching this closely.
There you go.
Big innings got to be pretty entertaining. I like them. Do you, since you have MLB.TV, do you watch MLB Big Inning?
I do a little bit sometimes.
I like it. I mean, it's, again, if you guys don't know, it's essentially MLB's version of Red Zone. My problem is they don't do it for the entire, like, they only schedule it for about 2 hours, 2-3 hours, from like 8:30 to 11:30, or whenever their peak amount of games is. Like right now, I'm sure it's on because there's like 10 games going right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that they don't, like the NFL does it from first kickoff to last kickoff.
Oh, I know.
Or, I don't like that they don't. I get it. It's a long season. Hire a couple people to do it, so you can have people to do like from first pitch to last pitch. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I love Red Zone.
Oh, I do too. But I don't like that they're not commercial-less anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Scott Hansen got a lot of heat for that, but that doesn't fall on him. That falls on NFL Network, which apparently may not go for much longer because it sounds like other teams or other networks want. Like ESPN, I hear, wants Red Zone now.
Oh. Okay.
So the Phillies did not do anything with that. They scored one run. And
one run, yeah, I see that.
So the Phillies lose to the Nationals 5-1. So the season is over. And it is Jake Bauers, the former Yankee.
Jake Bauers again. He came in yesterday.
He's got more appearances than Devin Williams.
Hey, he got them all out. I mean, He didn't give up a run.
Trent Grisham coming up to hit his first at bat of the day. 2 for 5 on the season.
Just put the bat on the ball. Don't try to hit it out. These guys, they
63. That's actually
they see a position player in there and they just start
wailing at it.
Wailing on it. It's like, come on, guys. Just
I didn't hit him. He hit him. Clear the benches.
He hit Jazz yesterday too.
He hit Grisham now.
He has I think he has a tough time with lefties because he hit Jazz yesterday.
Jazz laughing about it now.
Because Jazz. Because he hit Jazz. Look at him. He's like, "Hey, you hit me yesterday, bro."
Could you imagine a benches clearing incident right here?
No, not with Jake.
That would be funny. I would actually laugh. Like the whole dugout thinks it's hilarious, which is good. But
Jake Bowers is laughing about it. Come on.
And they put him up against a couple lefties because Ben Rice is up now.
Yeah. Well, he might hit Ben Rice too.
That pitch is low and away 2-0.
Wow, he's just like.
Do you for the Yankees? Do you have Cruz come out for a second inning, or do you put somebody else in?
I mean,
Rice pops this one way up there in the infield.
Wow, why are you swinging at that? Hasn't even given you a strike.
I like you said. I think when it comes time and the position players on the mound, they're just wailing at it. By the way, bad news: Red Sox. Oh no, Texas literally just took the lead. As I was about to give you that update, it was 2-2. Texas just took the lead back. 3-2.
Nice.
So here comes Oswaldo Cabrera, 1 out, and he swings at one up above the zone, but that's fouled off.
Jeez.
I get it.
Oh, my goodness.
I get it. It's well out of reach and possibly over, but you don't still count towards your stats, right? As there's a base hit.
Yeah, I know. There you go. Just put the bat on the ball.
That's all.
That's all you got to do.
So we go back to the top of the order, which is probably worst case scenario right now.
I don't want to see anybody over swinging at 60-mile-an-hour balls and getting.
Yeah, exactly. This is essentially batting practice at this point.
Yeah. Well, this is even like slower than batting practice, actually. This isn't even batting practice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Batting practice pitchers at least pitch like 80.
You're not wrong. So
look at O'Neill on the mound. O'Neill was trying. Look at him.
Yes, he was.
That's not a
strike. They took pride in that. They saw that as an opportunity back then.
Yeah.
Goldschmidt in the right. That's a base hit. We'll see if they send Grisham here. They do not. Go. So the bases are loaded.
Had those stats for those fantasy players. There you go.
Oh, I'm sure fantasy players are loving this.
That's what you got to love. Yeah, of course, the year that I don't have Judge, he goes off first game.
Update, Ronaldo Hernandez hits a 3-run home run for the Railroaders. They lead 8-3, top of the 9th.
Nice.
Looking to salvage the final game of the Turnpike Series /
Look at this. Goes down and gets it. Look at Goldie. That's a professional hitter right there.
You've done that a couple times today.
I told you.
So Pablo Reyes comes in to pinch hit. He pops this one up. First
Pablo.
Catch.
Come on, Pablo.
So let's see. Does Judge come up here, or do they let somebody else? I don't. Who else do you put in? Yeah. Who's the other? Who else can
look at Michael's scorecard from yesterday? You see that?
I'm glad I have not done a scorecard the last few days because
that was horrible. That would have been the worst.
Dave Sims posted his on social media. Oh, here's Oswald Peraza. Okay, so now who do you put in right field?
I don't care.
Yeah, but somebody's got to play right.
I know they got
actually they'll probably be Oswaldo. That's grounded to third, and he goes with a scoreless inning.
Wow, it's funny how you can't hit a guy like that. It's just
they put up no runs against the position player.
But Bowers has pitched 2 innings this season,
scoreless
and hasn't given up a run.
That's funny. He actually qualifies for some good pitching stats. That's what I love. I love it. You know what? I'm not even mad.
Maybe we'll do a position player. I don't know.
Maybe we might.
I don't know. I doubt it.
So another final. The Marlins walked off the Pirates for the 3rd time this weekend.
Oh, wow.
As they upset the Pirates, winning 3 out of 4 this weekend. Good for Miami. I'm upset for Pittsburgh, but good for them.
I know. That's crazy.
But that should scare you because remember, the Yankees go to Pittsburgh. Now, you're going up against a team that now you feel like you should beat. And
by the way, David Bednar, I think, just pitched himself out of the closer role.
Yeah, he's got a 36 ERA after this weekend.
He's done, I think. I mean, we saw him in spring, and
But they never really, if you think about it, the Pirates never really announced who their closer was. They just kind of
I kind of assumed it was going to be Bednar.
That's what we all thought, but They gave him another chance and he squandered it. So
Let's see.
also here, I'll give you a couple updates. Blue Jays are up top of the ninth, 3-1. They're already 1 out in. So it looks like unless barring a miracle, Toronto should have that one.
The A's and the Mariners just started.
Rays are up 6-4, top 9, 1 out in the top of the ninth. And the Red Sox are down 3-2, but that game's in the top of the seventh.
I just want Texas to win that game.
Oh, I do too. They would take 3 out of 4 from Boston, who won opening day. So the goal should have been at least a split, but might not even get that.
Well, you didn't know what you were going to get out of DeGrom today, and he pitched well. So
yeah,
it looked like he labored a little bit, but that lineup, you're going to labor with that lineup.
So we'll remind you real quick before we do start the top of the ninth. Our next stream will be April 11th when the Yankees take on the San Francisco Giants at home. That is a 7:05 Friday night game. The Yankees will host San Francisco, so make sure you tune in. That'll be our next Yankees live stream. As that is a base hit for Sam Frelick, as Ryan Yarbrough gets his first appearance as a Yankee. I like this, actually. It's a good opportunity to get him, because he hasn't really pitched.
Yeah, it's getting
him
some
just
work.
Signed him a couple days ago, so he really didn't have a spring training.
Yeah, get him some work. This has been a
3.19 ERA. Yes, it has. Through 44 games, went 5-2 through 98 2/3. It gave up 11 home runs and 32 walks.
Not a big strikeout guy. He's only struck out 65 and 89 innings. But that was...
Jake Bauers, the pitcher, comes up to hit. Hey, Shohei's got some competition here. Jake Bauers, 2-run home run, 2 clean innings.
2 clean innings. There you go.
Shohei better watch out now.
He just pitched batting practice.
But you know what? Then again, we got to be careful, Vinny. Joey Gallo is coming.
We'll see. Hey, the guy's got an arm. So,
he does.
We'll see. See what happens.
0-2 pitch. Yarbrough deals. Outside 1-2.
We'll see.
So the new defense, Cabrera's in left, Reyes is in right. I thought he was a third baseman. I guess he could play outfield. And Peraza's at third.
Yeah.
Opie, Chisholm, Goldschmidt, and Wells are the remaining starters.
Yeah, I like Peraza at third rather than Reyes, because Reyes yesterday just looked terrible there.
And look at bearded Giancarlo Stanton in the dugout.
Bearded G?
I haven't seen that. That's the first time I've seen him.
Max?
And Judge?
And
way inside
Giancarlo?
too. This might be one of those games where you're probably not going to get a fully clean inning from Yarbrough. He's probably just trying to work on stuff, being that this is his first outing as a Yankee.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough inning.
2-2 pitch on the pitcher, Jake Bauers. Swung on and missed, strike 3. There's his first strikeout as a Yankee. 1 out in the ninth.
There you go.
It's like most of the fans, about half the fans, I would say, have already departed from the Bronx. So we know the 4 train and the D train are definitely overloaded.
Oh, that platform for the 4 is probably packed right now.
Oh, we know that. That's why I don't leave right when everyone else does. I actually like to hang out in the area until people are out, because that 4 train is miserable trying to get out of there when a game,
especially during playoff games. That Cleveland playoff game I went to was horrid.
Oh, I believe it.
We literally had to wait for 3 trains.
Before you could get on.
Before we could get on one.
The only good thing is they run the service pretty quickly.
Yeah, it is pretty quick.
And I know people are going to say, well, you didn't say the B train. Well, I'm sorry, Vinny. Have you ever heard somebody say, I take the B train to Yankee Stadium?
No, never.
Because I have not.
The D or the 4. That's probably the 2 trains.
Pretty much depends on what part of Brooklyn you come from.
Well, when I was living over by
nice catch there by Goldschmidt for out number 2.
I would take usually the Gold Glover. I would take I would go to Kings Highway, take the
D
and the Q.
Oh, and transfer.
And then transfer to the D.
Yeah.
Now,
Alex and Luca are.
I take
they live 7 blocks from the D train, so we just walk over there. But that's a long train ride. That's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
from South Brooklyn to the Bronx. I hate taking the D train.
Yeah.
It just because you're like I said, it's the same. It's Vinny. Fun fact: it takes just as long to fly to Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like literally, think
Yeah.
about that. It takes just as long to fly to Florida as it does to get you from South Brooklyn to the South Bronx.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the ferry to the 4, you take the ferry and you get on the
But
4
once
at
you get on the 4, if
Bowling
it's running
Green.
express, it's only 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
That's why Alex and Luca would always invite me like, yo, you want
And
to stay over?
the
We'll go
ferry trip
together.
is
I'm
nice
like, I'm
too.
sorry, but that's such a long trip. I said,
Yeah.
I'll just meet you at the stadium.
And the ferry trip is really nice.
Oh, we
So,
love the ferry trip. Yeah, we get you get your crackheads on the ferry, but
well, yeah, but
that's to be
it's
expected with
always
St.
nice.
George.
It's always nice to see
Ground
those
ball to
Yankee
short,
fans getting on
bumpy.
drunk
Yes. Oh,
before the
wild
game.
throw still gets him. Ball game over. Yankees win this one by a
Good
score
play
of
by Goldschmidt.
12-3. They clinch the series sweep.
Jazz
What
is
a
fired
weekend
up.
it
That's what I
was.
love
Jazz is
about it.
fired
Look at
up.
that.
We love to
There you
see
go.
it. So
Yeah.
it is over.
The happy totals.
The good numbers. Well, and the only thing that sucks about it is Stroman does not get the win because he did not pitch 5, which I think is a
Yeah.
stupid rule.
Yeah,
But
I know.
Tim Hill takes the victory. Aaron Savali suffers the loss. Final numbers for the Brewers: 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Yankees, you'll love to see this: 12 runs, 11 hits, 0 errors today.
0
So a
errors. I'm
much
sure Max
cleaner
Fried is
victory.
saying, what happened to that yesterday?
So yeah, yesterday we just put a little asterisk on that. So
Yeah.
real quickly before we do start our post game, Rays clinched the victory and the series win over the Rockies. The Blue Jays earned the victory over Baltimore. That finishes in a 4-game split in the AL East, and the Red Sox still trail 3-2. That game is in the 7th inning stretch. So, Vinny, I'll start with you. Final thoughts from this 3-game sweep.
Wow. There's a lot to unpack, but the main thing is all the runs, man. All the runs. I mean, did you think if I told you, hey, Sean, we're gonna score,
36.
36 in 3 games against Milwaukee?
I'd tell
Without
you
looking at last year's numbers.
Yeah, I would say
I mean,
you're
around.
crazy.
You would have probably put me in a straitjacket.
I wouldn't go that far. But
You would have said
crazy.
you're too overly confident, Vinny. You're too
Well,
overly
and you know what?
confident.
We have been arguing that all
Yeah.
off season. You've had a lot more confidence in this team than I have, and so far
Mhm.
you've been right.
Yeah, because you guys thought Goldschmidt was old. Bellinger wasn't going to live
know
up
what
to
it was.
the.
We were upset about Goldschmidt because we knew who we wanted and we didn't get him.
Yeah, but I thought Goldschmidt was a good signing, though. I like that signing. And obviously, you look at the difference between him and Rizzo now. I mean, I love Anthony Rizzo.
It's good. I love Rizzo too, but so far, because remember we're not in April yet. But so far,
now the pitching and the defense, that needs to get a little. The
defense looked like they cleaned up today.
They did. But
Pitching
one game. It's one game either way. So it's one game yesterday, one game today. And then you had the first game where it was a pretty clean game. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. We're 3 games into this 162 game marathon. I would just say overall, very happy with the way the offense works. For how long this goes, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, Yankee fans, I hate to break it to you, but the fall off will come. There's no way they are maintaining
long season. They're going to go through a slump. Everybody's going to go. One player.
And
now, here's the thing.
Sooner than you think. I mean, Arizona's a tough team. Pittsburgh's going to play you tough. Detroit will play you tough because you're going to their stadiums, cold weather environments, opening weekend for Pittsburgh.
So here's the thing. They can't go into a slump. Like if Judge goes into a slump, which he probably will at some point.
He will.
You can't have other big, like Bellinger can't be in a slump with Judge and Goldschmidt. So you can't have all 3 of those guys be in a slump. You can't have multiple players be in a slump. That's what happens so if you have guys that are playing well, and you just need the consistency. You need to stay consistent.
Yeah.
Now the pitching is going to be big for us in the defense. That's what I'm going to be
I
watching
would
the
say the
most.
pitching is the big thing. I would like to see some improvement. Which Stroman looked good today. I will not complain about
Stroman looked good.
He had a
Fried
couple
didn't look
mistakes, but
too bad, but it was his first start in Yankee Stadium.
yeah.
But
So all in all,
we'll see.
successful weekend. Good start to the year.
And by the way, Rodon looked good.
And you know
Good.
what? Looking
So
ahead, since you bring up Rodon, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming series with the D-backs. Real quickly update, Duke Ellis extends the Rail Riders lead to 10-3. So also a blowout in the Turnpike rivalry in Lehigh Valley. Let's look ahead. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to see two pitchers make their debut against the D-backs. Now, first, let's talk about Tuesday's game, which is also, if you don't live in New York or Arizona, nationally televised on TBS will be the D-backs and the Yankees, which we'll wait and see how the D-backs do. They're looking to split that series with the Cubs. But we're going to see Corbin Burns making his debut. You and I, Vinny, we were wondering why he didn't pitch this weekend. Don't know why they waited for him to pitch against New York. I'm guessing because he knows us better than most in that staff. Corbin Burns takes on Will Warren in the first game of this series. I think the big thing is Corbin Burns is going to pitch this tough whether you want to admit it or not. If the Yankees could tee off on him, then that would be amazing. I would not expect them to be putting up 12 runs again against the D-backs on Tuesday. Vinny, what do the Yankees got to do to beat Corbin Burns?
they just gotta be patient, wait for their pitches and see if he makes a mistake, because that's the only way you're gonna probably
That's the
hit
best way to
Corbin Burns.
capitalize.
And if you look at their offense, I mean, pretty much the only one that's hit home runs on that team is Eugenio. He's probably, other than Judge, probably one of the other hotter hitters in the league.
Yeah, 4 home runs over the
And
weekend.
coming into Yankee Stadium, we'll see. But then they've got Ketel Marquez hitting 357. Gabriel Romero, their catcher's hitting 500.
Well, and this is the way I look at it.
Grichuk's hitting 400.
This is a true test for Will Warren, because Will Warren started out the spring great, didn't finish so great. I hate to say it's a make or break start for Will Warren, but I have a feeling if he does not pitch good,
I'm going to disagree with you, especially since this is the team that.
Yeah, but again, fans have lost their patience with Will Warren. I think if he has a bad start, I don't think fans are going to sit on this too well.
Against a hot team, though. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, even though they're 1-2, I understand that, but hitting.
But a good offense, yes. But
yeah,
you're going up against a tough Corbin Burns. You can't let it get to an offensive shootout, because if it's an offensive shootout,
well, but you can't blame them if we lose the game 2-1. That's all.
No, then you can't say nothing.
Game, even if we lose 3-1, if it's a
close game, fine. I got no problem with that. But if it's close, low scoring game,
out, I don't see him. I mean, well, I can't really say I don't see him getting blown out, because this is a good hitting team.
you know what? I would say don't be surprised if we are. I don't want to say that. Arizona wins big. Don't be surprised.
Yeah, we may get blown out in one of these.
I think then the concern's going to rise is if Will Warren really is that guy. I know it's early, but we need him to step up until we can get some guys like Clark Schmidt back.
Our old friend Josh Naylor's coming in too, so just
that'll be fun.
He's hitting 308.
And it doesn't get any easier. You look at Wednesday, Carlos Rodon versus Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen, another tough pitcher. Carlos Rodon looked very good in his first start. I
mean, we're getting their 2 top starters too. We're getting Burns, we're getting Gallen. So
this game right here, which is Amazon Prime game, fuck you Amazon, gonna be another tough one. So
yeah, don't expect again against
a pitcher's duel.
Right, against Burns and Gallen, don't expect to score 30 something runs.
No, I don't. I agree. So that'll be a tough one. And now they just announced for Thursday's game, which is also 7:05. It'll be Kelly versus Cookie Carrasco, who also makes his debut. Carrasco actually did pitch in yesterday's game.
He pitched yesterday. He looked pretty good.
He looked pretty good.
Pretty good.
Will he get his first start on Thursday? So all in all, Vinny, if I don't know if you want to do a prediction or not. I say the Yankees take 2 out of 3. I think if there's one they lose, it's the first one. What do you?
I'm gonna be a little more
pessimistic.
Yeah, I think we're gonna lose 2 out of 3 in this.
Yeah, you know what though? Even if they lose 2 out of 3, it's a successful first homestand. They would go 4-2 if they do that.
I think the D-backs right now. Maybe if we got them later in the season, I don't know, but this early in the season, I don't know.
It'll
It's
be
gonna
interesting because
be
you got two red hot offenses going up against very good pitching.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it'll definitely be a good series
I
nonetheless.
definitely give the pitching edge to them for sure.
Yes,
Now I give the bullpen edge to us. So if it gets into a bullpen game, we'll
different
see if we can
story.
get to if we can get Burns or Gallen out of there early, like they're laboring or something, and they throw in a lot of pitches, and we can be the patient Yankees that we should be.
Yes,
Then yeah, then we need to take that approach, get to the bullpen, and then do our damage. That's where, but also, let's not get, we can't let guys like Corbin Carroll get on, and
Ketel
Ketel
Marte
Marte
or
and
Eugenio Suarez, who you
uh
got to watch his power.
Geraldo Perdomo is
Now,
fast
the one
too.
thing, Vinny, you could take into effect for this game, this will be the first time that Arizona comes north. Because remember, these 4 games they play are at home in their dome
Mhm.
stadium. So
Right, right.
factor
Well, we'll
that
see.
into the Arizona offense,
Let's hope the weather's not that great. Maybe
which
they
that's
maybe they
supposed to
don't
be.
play it.
I
Maybe
will
they
warn you
don't.
guys, they are calling for rain like a
Okay,
good
well,
portion of the week. So
hey, listen, if
we
it's
may have a
overcast and
doubleheader
40
in there
degrees,
somewhere.
maybe Burns and Gallen don't pitch as well. So who knows?
I'll actually, I'm going to pull it up right now. This week, they're calling for rain tomorrow, which they don't play tomorrow. That's fine. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. Wednesday, rain. Thursday, thunderstorms. Going to be in the 70s Thursday, by the way, but 50s the next 2 games. But
Right.
like I said, they're calling for rain like the whole week in New York. So
Right. And
we'll wait and see. I
my
have a
power just
feeling.
blipped a little bit. Oh, well, there it goes again. So if I cut off, I might get a little blip here.
Okay,
Oh,
well we'll cut it. We'll call it an end
yeah.
to the day here. We're just clearing the 3-hour mark. One last update in Lehigh Valley: Rail Riders lead 14-3, so it looks like they have that one in the bag in the
Yeah.
Turnpike Series. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on this Sunday afternoon. We do appreciate it, Vinny. I'd say we had a pretty good, I'd say a great first stream for
Yep. Very good.
the season.
Yep.
Remember, our next live Yankees stream will be April 11th when they take on the Giants. We are going to have some wrestling videos up sometime Monday or Tuesday. We're going to try to figure out because once again, I'm going away next week. Going to be going to Pittsburgh. We'll try to get you some videos up throughout the week, and so much more. We're going to plan that out immediately after this. Vinny, thank you for another great stream. Thank you for always providing your amazing insight into the analytics side of baseball. Have a great rest of your Sunday, everybody. We'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one. We'll see you again soon.